here you go. This is Emily C., my new bestie.
I hate the idea that someone out there hates me. I even hate thinking that Al-Qaeda hates me. I think if they got to know me, they wouldn't hate me.
This stole the show. Emily C. was phenomenal.
There's something you need to know.
What?
You're doing great.
Look at my baby. Here she is. Emily. 10 out of 10. Huge fan.
I see Emily C says 123. I trust her. She's really good.
Listen, Turtle. You gotta watch your language. I'm already live. So you need to follow the FCC guidelines.
She destroyed, left nothing in her path. It was so good.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Squirrel School. I'm Emily C., and this is a series where we make the expert an expert on all things Norfolk County, and it's going to be a fun night. I'm really, really excited. So without further ado, please welcome my friend, the expert. Hello.
Hello. I'm
How's it
sorry. I was
going?
running a little late. I don't feel tardy, but I know I am. So,
I
then I don't know where my scissors are.
Late. There's no such. Why do you need scissors? Oh, for your pixie stick, of course. Wait, I felt like you. I didn't have time to eat dinner, and I was just like going through my kitchen, like, okay, I need a snack, I need something, and I just put a bunch. This just made me laugh. I just put a bunch of Carter's like Welch's gummies into a little Ziploc bag, and then I was thinking this like kind of looks like drugs, like like I look like I have like like
I
cool
think people get
gummies
the wrong
that like
idea
the
when I
cool
say,
kids
"Oh yeah, I
have.
love gummies. I eat them all the time."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "No, it's here. Like I'm trying. Oh, I got some new.
They're just Welch's
Yeah,
gummies.
but I have Peeps now.
Of course you do, Peeps gummies. You know why Welch's
Yeah.
gummies are good? They're like not too
Because they have
sticky.
fruit juice in it. Oh,
Is that what? I mean, I don't know what it is, but they're not. I don't feel like a bad mom when Carter's eating them, like because they're not like sticky like the other gummies, like they don't get stuck in your teeth. Anyways, we have too much to do tonight to even waste any time. So before we get started, let's review this portion of our journey. We are now letting you in on all the secrets. You're finally ready to learn all the viral moments and the lingo and the jokes. And last week I wrote a list. We covered the origin of Auntie Bev's name. We covered Julie Albert saying a dirty word for Yuri Buchanan's name. We heard Jessica Hyde very, very clearly and articulately explain how the write-ahead log works in a phone.
Oh yeah, yeah. I still don't even understand that.
Nobody does. You were introduced to Kelly Dever and the garage.
Boy, she's been so what was it? Somebody said something about somebody being pouty like today, and I started laughing. I was like, she has that pouty look.
This line that Tony Enclave just said, "Our table is the table," for some reason is like, to me, the funniest thing that could have come out of her mouth. Like, what? Our table is the table. What does that mean? It's
More
so
than
funny.
they thought it was breakfast for some reason.
Courtney H. from Florida, you're not late. We've barely even started. You've had 45 more minutes. No, we're not wasting time tonight. The last thing that we covered last week was Tristan Morris showing us that he really has no concept of time whatsoever. And then we were briefly introduced to Colin.
Yeah, I learned more about him.
Yes.
What a poet. He's a poet, didn't know it.
I didn't get a chance to see I don't know what I feel like I have 0 minutes in the day, like, all the time lately. I think it was because Carter was on vacation last week, and now this week I feel like I'm catching up on everything. But I
I
really
hate that
wanted to
feeling.
see more of your it's like, ugh, I really wanted to see more of your homework, um, and I just didn't get a chance to. But so tell me what you learned about sorry, excuse me, Colin.
Mitchell's on me all the time. He's like, make sure you did your homework. Actually, hold on, Mitchell. I'm
Mitchell.
glad you're here. You can answer that question. What was the time? When did I just check out? Was
Somebody
that
posted something on my Twitter, and that's why I really wanted it was, like, on my mind all day today to go check somebody posted a screenshot of when you were like, "I'm done, I'm not doing this anymore," and I didn't get a chance to go see it.
I didn't see that. I wish I had.
What did
No,
Colin
it was
do?
there was well, I was just I was like, of course, look, I'll keep playing along, but I know this is fake. For real. This is not. This
Okay,
is
wait,
one big joke. This
it was
is
a post from I'll pull this up. Um, it was a post from Lady Natalie of Snowho, who said, just FYI, I saw a YouTube stream where a certain person skipped a part of his homework. He thinks he's done enough to get a C. He's traumatized by the Colin song. And you were only 14 minutes in, and you said, why is this homework? I don't like this anymore. I don't want to do this. I think I've done enough homework to get a C.
I remember saying the C, but I don't remember what the point. That was only 14 minutes in. Holy
Apparently,
cow! I was
that's
thinking
what
they
it
watched
is.
it at 2:30. No, that's 14 minutes
Yes,
in it.
C's get
Oh, Lady
degrees.
Natalie of Snoho. Yeah, she's mean to me.
No, she
C's
was
get
just
degrees. That's right, Buffy.
she was just being the teacher's pet, and I appreciate that very much, Natalie. Thank you.
That means a brown noser.
No, that means sweetie pie.
Um,
So tell me what about Colin did it for you?
Hold on. What were so the one was microdots. The one was on Allie McCabe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Jen's daughter. Okay. Her. And that's the second one I saw. The first one was that Colin?
I didn't see. You have to tell me. In
Well,
the
no, I can't
teaching biz,
remember.
we call this a cold call.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, did you?
I've had these before. I've been I had a friend of mine one time that said, "Oh, it's President. I haven't read any of this. I don't know anything that's going on here."
Did you hear Colin
Yeah.
say, pup, pup, pup?
No, is that a thing?
He says, pup,
What did I
bitch.
miss? Hold on. I really am blanking out right now.
That's okay.
What was the
I
other
started to actually put Colin into tonight's plan, but then I think because of everything that's kind of going on right now with people kind of like revisiting because of the civil suit and Aiden and Karen being sued, people are like kind of relitigating what they think happened that night. And I found myself as I was pulling Colin stuff wanting to go more of like not the funny stuff, but the actual facts of like why people think Colin was in the house and showing you like the different testimony that doesn't line up. So I decided we're going to
I went
save
back and
Colin
looked at
for
it.
like, but so
It was Kelly
that's okay.
Dever. I watched Kelly Dever. Fever
Oh,
Dever. I watched her
Mhm.
and Allie McCabe.
okay.
So see, I was thinking I saw Colin on. I thought that was part of the homework. Is that
Well,
what you're
you
talking
did see
about?
Colin. You saw Colin do his poetry because I saw that.
Yeah, and then like after I told her about it, it's like, okay, look, I'm gonna go get a drink, And then I put on the song. I said, "Hey, this is one of the homework things," and it was the Bang Bang song. And I didn't
Oh,
think
yeah.
about it when I hit play, and I walked away. And all of a sudden, I was like, I don't know. This should come with a warning before I hit play."
Well, it was set in open
It was.
court, so it's
Oh,
loud.
I know. Yeah, it was, and I came back. That's what I said too. I was like, this is all court stuff. It's all public. Had a meltdown over Colin in the house. That's the one. Yeah. So at the end, when Allie said, I was like, okay, why does this matter? Like, I couldn't figure out. My brain was completely fried, and I couldn't get that working. And then finally, Kelly Steffi came on, and she tried to explain, and that made me even more confused. And why is there something in front of my screen right here? Wait, what just happened? Sorry, maybe I'm having flashbacks, or there's like a ghost. I don't know. Anyway, the last studio had a ghost. This one doesn't. Hey, there's Volstorm. Emily, you're covering ABCs when Expert is still on colors. Thanks, Volstorm.
But see,
right
actually, what you're saying is kind of exactly where my head was at. Was like I was trying to just focus on kind of like the viral funny moments for this portion of our journey, and I started to pull those for Colin, and then I was like, to really understand Colin, we have to do the whole like, why does everybody say he was in the house, and how do I know for sure that he was? And that veers into like more like, let's compare this testimony and that testimony and that testimony. So we're going to save that. We're going to do Colin for like a real, like, let's figure out what was going on. And
thank you so much.
Kate from Rhode Island said you were getting Allie and Caitlin confused, which is a fair point. Yes, I have a glass of rosé. And cheers. Join me.
Katie D. You just really do.
It's the day. I had a day.
And it's never a good day when it ends with me. It's not good at all. I feel bad for you. I really do. I'm sorry.
This is the best part of my day. Hey, oh my gosh. That reminds me. Hold on. Hold, please.
Hooray! It's time for Squirrel School, the best part of my day.
I can't believe I almost forgot that. But you reminded me. It's the best part of my day. And yeah, so here's the plan for tonight. We are going to start with Michael Proctor. And
he just had something happen, didn't he?
Yes, he did. And we're going to get into that.
I ignore things when I hear them.
I told you, now you're at a point where like you can venture out on your own. But if you don't want to, that's fine.
No.
Okay, so we're going to start with Michael Proctor. We're going to do there's going to be a lot of Michael Proctor for a little while. And then we're going to do a palate cleanse after Michael Proctor. And we're going to see a bunch of the good guys. And
well, I feel like that. Yeah, it's not the first time that's been said.
Because Michael Proctor's a lot. You'll see. There's like layers to why it is so egregious, everything that he did. Tell me what you know about Michael Proctor to start. What have you heard? What do you know?
Did we cover anything about him? Because that would be the only thing I know. He wait, yeah, is he the one that no, that's Higgins that lives in the police department that isn't an inmate.
He literally, like, his address was listed as the Canton Police Department on the documents. Like, literally lives at the police department. Yes, that was Higgins.
There's a lot of people in jail that have that address for like vote and stuff. It's really weird. But anyway, no, what's he works for the Massachusetts State Police. He's the I remember now. He's the meatball prosecutor's special guy to do investigations from the state.
Yeah, sure. I would call Tully Meatball's like real special guy, and then Tully oversees Yuri Buchanan and Yuri oversees Proctor, but they're all his little goon squad, so you're not wrong. And
Okay.
yes, wait, do you guys want a sneak peek about something? We're already off topic, but I feel like you guys will like this. Okay, so Josie Miller said, Emily, did you see the new Foya dump? Proctor was not on call that night. Yes, I did. And that reminds me. So for anybody who doesn't know, Kyle Sharkey and I started a Foya fund called Foya and Find Out. And so Kyle Sharkey's been amazing for so long, just reaching out and making Foya requests and getting like so much of the information that we've learned like outside of the trial from these documents. And the really exciting part when he does this is if they take too long to respond, then you get the documents for free. So it's like they have a certain amount of time to respond, and if they don't, then you get them for free. But if they do respond within like the proper amount of time or whatever, then sometimes they'll come back and quote this like egregious amount of money, like $6,000 for these blah, blah, blah documents and stuff. So he's just been holding on to, yeah, it's just like how Foya works. So he's been holding on to all of these Foya requests that they came back that they were asking him for like money, any money really, like beyond a normal amount. Actually, I don't know what his like limit was or whatever. But anyways, so now we started this fund. The original goal was to raise $50 for this one request that we wanted to send out. And you guys are all amazing. And we have like an absurd amount of money to tackle all of these now. So the other thing that I wanted to do, because I don't know if anybody else is like me, and then you feel like there are these documents out there that you're like, I know that like somebody has this somewhere, but it's kind of like impossible to find. I wanted to put them all in one place. So hold please. How do I view this? Okay. So I'm making everybody a Foya and Find Out site where all the documents are. Why isn't this working?
It's good, doing good.
Why isn't it going to the first page? Hold, please. Hooray, it's time for Squirrel School. Oh, I know what the problem is.
I'm going to ask if I can borrow a piece of paper from somebody.
Okay. Publish. Okay. The view published site. Okay. So like I was saying, I want to show you guys. It's not done yet, but you guys will get a sneak peek. Share screen. Okay. I'm making a site called Foya and Find Out. I made a little logo. Let's zoom in and see it because it's really cute. Can't really see it. And then it's going to have all the documents. So like the trial transcripts, you click that. And then there's all the trial transcripts, including sidebars. Or there's this one, Brian Tully's emails. Then you click that. Then you can download Brian Tully's emails. Or Commissioner Cox. This page I'm clearly still working on because it still says Brian Tully's emails. But it's going to have, and then like for some of them, like this really big one that just came out, I'm also like pulling out kind of like the things that people are talking about. So like within this enormous document dump that we just got, Ian Whiffin's report was in there. So then I'm like isolating that. Michael Easter's report was in there. So I'm isolating that so that it will be easy for you guys to find, and it will be like a one-stop shop for anything that you're looking for. And I'm hoping if I like ever have just like a day to tackle this and not have anything else get in my way, I want to also put like clips from the document dumps next to like trial footage where we show them that how much they lied in the trial. Like, for example, what took me on this tangent in the first place is that Michael Proctor and Yuri Buchanan both testified that, it was just like so random that like Michael Proctor was like on call this morning and got this case, even though he is family friends and super close with all of the people in this case. It was just so, yeah. But it turns out in this most recent document dump, we got the schedule for this day of which officers were on call, and like, Proctor's day was Monday. Like, he wasn't even close. It wasn't even like, he was like Thursday into Friday and he, bumped it up. It was like he was as far away from being on call as you could possibly be. So back to the point. And whoever just said, tell me you're a teacher. Yeah, this is very teacher of me.
It's very professional. I'm very impressed.
I feel like if I spend a lot of time kind of like, I'm like, I know that this is somewhere online, and then I'll like finally find it. And
you don't want to lose it.
Yeah. And then if I'm looking for them, I'm sure I'm not the only one. So yes, Lauren, I want to put my Foya and Find Out logo on a t-shirt because it's really cute. Hold on. Let's look at it up close. It looks better on a blue background, but I did it like spray paint. So it was like, graffiti, like we were like being bad, but also good. Okay. So there's one tangent for the night.
I have a different FOFA. No, FAFO.
Yeah. But ours is Foya and Find Out.
Yeah, I like that.
Back to the point. We tonight are going to start with Michael Proctor. And what you need to know about Michael Proctor going into this is he is the lead investigator. So like he is who owns this case. And they're going to eventually try to pretend that he's not. And they're going to say like, he's the case officer. He's actually the toilet scrubber. But like, no, he's the lead investigator. He was the one in charge. And I don't think, wait, hold on. Peg Like Pooter said, drop your links for the Foya and Find Out fund. I need to like pause donations for now because it makes me feel like we need to be putting out more requests and I don't have a ton of time to do all of them. So like I sent a $450 check out today and I felt good about that, but I don't want to keep having donations come in until we start getting stuff back. So I appreciate that, but I'm going to pause on it for a minute because otherwise I just get overwhelmed. Like I feel like I'm letting you guys down if I'm not like doing more with it. So I'm going to like use up this part of it first and then do more. Okay. So what are we looking for?
I had a ring pop the other day. Sorry. No, I had. I don't know what happened to my notepad. What?
Did you eat it the other day, or you just saw it the other day?
Well, I ate it, but I've got more. I think saw that somebody said I should have a ring pop. Sorry. No, I'm looking for my notes, and I have a new note that was supposed to come in today, and it didn't. This one's spiral bound, so that way everything will stay saved in one thing. Because this is, I kind of, I guess I don't know what I was thinking at the beginning of this. Like, I had no idea. I still think any day now you're gonna be like, God, I gotta get rid of this guy. But so like I have a thick pad, like notes, but it's just for notes. I don't know what happened to that. It doesn't matter. That's what I was looking for because I like to take notes because
Well, go find
I'm
it.
an
We can
idiot.
wait.
No, it's somewhere around here. See, it's got to be like here behind the computer. And that's
Lovely.
what I would say. Oh, yeah, this is notes from last week. The right ahead log.
It's WRITE, but yeah. Like right ahead.
Oh, that makes so much more sense to me now.
Serial
You have
sewers.
no idea. I was like, this sounds so dumb.
It's a serial sewer.
I love it. I love it. Well, I had all the notes from before were on top, and so you can see this is the last of my notes. So
I'm
anyway,
glad
got
that's the one I saw.
Yeah. And I misspelled it.
Okay.
That's awesome. Hey, let's just try for a D on that homework.
The smallest notebook ever is this Blue's Clues.
This is a real notebook, and see, it's not. These aren't stickies either. The notepad. See, it's glued together. Yeah. Rodeo.
Okay.
My paper of choice.
So-
It's made in France.
What you need to know is you're going to hear Michael Proctor say a lot of bad words. And spoiler alert, he exposes himself as like a pretty big D-bag. And to the point that like he really kind of tells on himself in terms of like the type of investigation that he did. And I am not going to, I don't want this to sound like I'm apologizing for Michael Proctor or like excusing what he does in these clips that you're about to see. However, I will say that I think there are probably police officers out there that talk just like he does in these texts, as you will see, but also know how to do their job. And I think something that got lost a little bit in like the shock value of some of the really like ridiculous things that he says is the pieces of the text, the parts of the text messages that really expose what a terrible investigation that he did. And Karen Reed actually points that out. She did an interview with Rotten Mango on YouTube after she was acquitted. And they talk about, she's like, Michael Proctor says all these bad things about me and stuff. She's like, he can't hurt my feelings. Like, he can't hurt me. Like, I don't care about that. Like, I care about the fact that his investigation is the reason why I was framed. Paraphrasing, but.
Oh, yeah. That's, sticks and stones can break my bones, but words can never hurt me.
Yeah. So I
It's
want
harmony.
you to kind of like, while we're watching, and like, this is for everybody too, to kind of like look past the shock value of like the really absurd, just childish things that he says. And like, let's focus more on the parts where he really exposes what a terrible investigation that he did. Are you ready? Buckle
I'm
up.
ready. I'm ready. I am.
Also, I've had
I
like
do need to
4
get a
sips
seatbelt
of
installed
wine.
on this
Zach,
chair.
I'm not drunk.
What?
But I did watch Rebecca Lavoie get drunk watching the Albert's interview with Matt Gutman, and that was really entertaining. It did kind of make me want to actually do that.
There's a shot for every word.
Pretty much.
Usually, there's a word that people used to do that to me. It was every time I asked what's going on. It was a game.
For this one, anybody out there can drink every time that Michael Proctor says a bad word. Okay. So here we go. I pulled this last week, so I actually don't know where we're starting. So this will be a surprise for me too. Here we go.
under tab 2 and tell me if you recognize that?
Yes, sir. It's a private text thread with high school friends.
And this includes 9 chat participants that you engaged with?
That's correct.
Those participants include people by the name of Bird, Whitey, and Doc, correct?
Correct.
And then there's some other folks in there. They're identified by at least the last 4 digits of their phone number, correct?
Yes.
So this is a group text or a group chat with you and 8 of your high school friends about this investigation, correct?
Yes.
Trooper Proctor, you never thought when you were engaged with these other...
So that already, to be clear, let's think about this. Because like these are the things that I was referring to when I say like things kind of get lost once the like really egregious things come out. Michael Proctor is 1 day into a murder investigation of a Boston police officer. And he's already texting an entire group text of like his elementary school besties. So
So he
that's where
shows
the
up and he's
integrity
like-
of our investigation starting. What?
So he just shows up and starts hitting the text.
Yeah. So this is at like 10 o'clock at night. Alan Jackson will get into the details, but yeah, it's 10 o'clock at night when Proctor has spent like a few hours this day investigating.
I'm friends with cops, and you know how many of them have ever texted me anything about anything they've ever been on together? 0.
How many? Yeah.
0. I know of no case. I know of nothing. The only time I know something is when they want you to know something, and they'll be like, "Yeah, man, like one guy one time." It's
Yeah.
like that.
Not
Like,
in
I have a-
1 day into like the most high profile investigation that you're going to do in your career. Like it and I think like there are a lot of moments during this case where I remind myself that like nobody thought it was going to blow up to this, to like us still in 2026 dissecting every word that they said.
Right.
But the police officers on that first day did know that they had like, there were news cameras out there filming the search. That part wasn't a surprise that like people would want to know what happened to a Boston police officer who was like beloved in the community. So for Michael Proctor to already be kind of like breaking the rules, it doesn't seem like he ever followed them, but yeah. It was like 8 of his friends from first grade, and they're all called like Bird and Whitey and Skip and Bear.
I thought that was only in the South we had names like that for people.
I think those are just all their nicknames anyways. Does anybody, well, no, right, actually.
Great individuals that this particular set of chats would ever become public, did you?
No, I do not.
I want to take a look at page 2527, if you could turn, that's on the bottom right of the document in tab 2. Do you recognize, I'm sorry, do you have that page in front of you?
Yes, sir.
You recognize that this group chat was taking place on January 29th at about 10:52 p.m., correct?
Correct.
And the person that I'll identify as 5051, that's the last 4 digits of that phone number, indicates Chip, name of that BPD cop, correct?
Correct.
First of all, you indicated on Monday that you're Chip, is that right?
Yes, sir.
You responded at 10:53 p.m., John O'Keefe, is that right?
Yes, sir.
So you were willing to tell just a few hours into an investigation of the death of a Boston police officer, you were willing to tell a bunch of high school buddies details about the investigation, including the name of the victim, correct?
At this point, it's 16 hours later, sir. Not a few.
16 is a few hours, correct? I'm not talking about days later.
It was about 16 hours.
Chip, Bear, you might want to save your corrections because You're about to look like a really big D-bag for doing that. Oh, 16 hours. It is now 4.5 years later, and we're still trying to figure out what happened because you screwed it up so bad. So for him to be saying, oh, it was 16 hours, it wasn't a few.
Wait, hold on. Are we going to give him props though? I mean, he's the first person so far that gives him amount of time. Everybody else is just like,
Actually,
I don't know. I don't know if it's 30 minutes or 3 hours. I don't
that
know if
time
it
isn't
was
even
Sunday or
true.
Tuesday.
That time isn't even true because he got the call at like 6:44 a.m., but he didn't like show up to the police department until 10, and he lives 3 minutes away. And he said it was because he was shoveling out his car, but there was only 3 inches of snow. So it's all everything is a lie and everything is fake from the jump. So, yes,
Maybe
but
they
good
just do a
point.
lot of drugs.
Also, though, we're going to find out he actually didn't know how to tell time because are we going to get to this tonight or tonight? Okay, spoiler alert.
Of course.
Actually, okay, I'm going to explain this to you. Hold on. Okay. So, Michael Proctor.
Take out the hallway.
Because we're not going to get to it in the testimony, but it is like an important thing to know. And now that you brought up time. Okay. So let me explain Michael Proctor's day to you so that you're aware. So John O'Keefe's body is found by the Canton Police Department at 34 Fairview by Karen and Kerry and Jen, who call 911. The Canton police come. That's at 6 a.m., right? He's in the ambulance by 6:27 a.m., whisked away to the hospital. The Canton police spend a couple minutes, as one of the troopers, Gallagher, says they just had small talk. They weren't really like investigating. They were just like having small talk. Then they leave, and the Canton Police Department is recused from the investigation because Brian Albert's brother, Kevin Albert, is a Canton police detective. So the Massachusetts, yes, that's important. So the Massachusetts State Police now owns the case. So if you were Michael Proctor, the lead investigator, you would think you would go to the scene, right? Like where the body was found. He doesn't do that.
Yeah, okay.
He goes to Jen McCabe's house. He talks to Jen McCabe, Brett and Brian Albert and Matt McCabe at Jen McCabe's house. And they tell him something that we don't know because it wasn't recorded. And there's just like a very short report written where he was basically like, they told me John never came in the house. So, we don't have to investigate the house. So he goes to the hospital. When he gets to the hospital where John is, John has now been pronounced dead. That he and Yuri Buchanan get to the hospital. And in Michael Proctor's words, he notices that John only had one shoe at the hospital. There's one shoe there. And because the second shoe is missing, Michael Proctor is like, oh my gosh, he got hit by a car. And I know that from my training and experience, because when people get hit by cars, they come right out of their shoes. And so I know for sure that John got hit by a car. So
that's what Rose said.
Yeah, exactly. So he and Yuri then leave the hospital. It's now like really snowing. There's like 10 inches of snow at this point. It's like 1:00 in the afternoon. They leave the hospital and they go to where Karen is at her parents' house in Dighton. And they do that because Karen's car is there. On the way, before they've ever even talked to Karen,
Who told the cops that Karen was there?
That's a good question. I bet this
Who
beautiful
fingered
lady
her?
knows.
Wait.
Who told the cops that she was? I think they called her. I think they called Karen and said,
The cops?
Yeah, how did they know that?
They just called up. They're like, oh yeah, we know who everything is.
Oh, okay. Wait, excuse me. Let me back up. Karen was also at the hospital for like a minute too because she was threatening to harm herself. They sectioned her for a minute. All of it like happened very quickly because then by the time they're done with John, Karen's already gone. Like they're like, actually, she's not going to take her own life. Now we're good. So Karen's dad takes her back to Canton, gets her car at John's house, has like a very awkward run-in with his family that like, we don't even need to cross that bridge right now. And then goes to her parents' house in Dighton. All of this is having to do with Michael Proctor telling time. So they go to Dighton. They spend a couple minutes talking to Karen. Again, we don't know what was said in this interview because it was not recorded. There's no body cams on. There's a very short report that basically says nothing. But an important detail in the report is that Michael Proctor writes that they tow Karen's car from her parents' house at 5:30 p.m. And that ends up not being true because, and we only know this because Karen's parents have an alarm.com surveillance camera. And on the surveillance camera, we can see that they tow the car at 4:16 p.m., which is very different than 5:30. And the reason why that's especially important difference is because if they towed the car at 5:30, then the car wouldn't have been back in Canton before they find taillight at the scene at 34 Fairview. So he basically lied an hour off to give himself an hour to cover for the time that they could have planted the taillight. Does that make sense? And actually, I'll show you that part now in a little bit, but Alan Jackson calls him out on it. And he's basically like, I made an error. I made a Scrivener's error. We'll get to that. But for now, let's go back to Michael Proctor's dirty words. Any questions?
No, but I do want to say, Zach, if it was Chips Ahoy, wouldn't I be a sailor? Ahoy.
Zach says, expert used to be a buffed out alpha dude Chippendale dancer, but then he gained some weight and had to go be a Chips Ahoy dancer.
Yeah. I think it would be a sailor. If you're ahoy. Ahoy, matey.
The good guys. If you guys need a palate cleanse after this, go watch Miss Scarlet, watch Barrows and Lucky.
I miss Scarlet.
Lisa Shriver sent $5 and said, side note, Proctor ordered a plow for the Reed's driveway before they even got to Dighton or inspected the Lexus. Yes. So Michael Proctor is already planning to tow Karen's car before they even see the car, talk to Karen, find out any information from her whatsoever.
Why do they have to plow her driveway?
Oh, because it's like at this point, the snow is like super deep. I mean, actually, Proctor described it in one interview as like up to his like waist. It was not that deep, but it was this kind of snow you can't drive in anymore without like plowing yourself out.
But, okay.
And they already had, they had everything lined up like before they even talked to Karen or anything. And just to circle back to the very beginning, so the Canton Police Department is now recused from the investigation because of the connections with the family. They choose to tow Karen's car to where? The Canton Police Department. The one
Sallyport.
Yeah, the one department in all of Massachusetts that isn't supposed to touch this case. So they could have stopped.
Do you think they call it Sallyport because nobody can say garage?
It is so much harder to say garage.
Garaggle.
Like she didn't make
Not
it
her.
easier for herself. But yeah, so they tow the car to the one police department that they're not allowed to go to. And that is where her car lived and got infested by rats.
Did it really?
Okay. Yeah.
Or is that the?
And when they gave
Winter
her
rat?
car back, it was like it looked like if your car got like so jacked up, like if your car got robbed and they like took everything from it, like they gave it back to her with nothing.
Have you ever
They're
had to
not
search a
good.
car?
Have I ever
Have you
had
ever
to
been on
search
police?
a car?
Have you ever ran with the police? Probably not where you are.
What?
I was on a police
Yeah,
ride one time.
Yuri took me on a ride along the other day.
Yeah, I realized that's not a good. I'm sorry. Well, they tear the cars
should I
apart,
request
man.
one? Should I call the Massachusetts State Police and be like, "Hey, my friend said that he gets to go on ride-alongs with his cop friends. Can I come?"
Let's not do that.
I'm going to be in the back, like, "You guys, I'll teach you how to do your job."
I can get you on Vegas. That'd be
Okay,
that'd
back
be
to Michael
safe.
Proctor.
I mean, that'd be the safest place in the world for you to go. Trust me. No. Sorry. It was stupid. I don't know. Okay.
Okay.
Just
Back to
the
Michael
first
Proctor.
time you
Here
see
we
a
go.
car being taken apart by the cops, it's shocking how they like, oh, I didn't.
Yeah, but like most cops probably like do it like the right way. They probably have like a screwdriver and like the things you're supposed to. I just picture these guys just going in and just like ripping things.
Yeah, that's what it kind of looks like. Some cars come apart really easily.
Okay, here we go. Trigger warning
Later, sir.
language.
Correct. And you identified John O'Keefe as the Boston police officer who is fallen in the yard at 34 Fairview, correct?
Correct.
You also informed, if you will skip to page 2529, you also informed these same folks, these same high school buddies that, quote, all the powers that be want answers ASAP, correct?
Yes.
You knew, Trooper Proctor, that there was brass that wanted this case wrapped up quickly and efficiently. Isn't that right?
Objection.
Oh, well, is that what you were thinking?
No, the people wanted answers, sir.
They didn't just want answers. They wanted answers ASAP. What does ASAP mean?
That's as soon as possible.
Right. And you were texting this to your high school friends, again, 16 hours into this investigation, right?
Correct.
And you knew at that time, Trooper Proctor, that this was not going to implicate in any way, shape, form, or fashion another cop, correct?
Correct.
In this text exchange, let's turn to 2532, actually. Do you have that in front of you?
I do.
In this text exchange at 10:56 p.m., your buddy Bird writes, "I'm sure the owners of the house will receive some shit," correct?
Correct.
How did you take that to mean? Did you take that to mean that he could get in trouble?
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what my friend was getting at.
Well, you had some idea.
Yeah, maybe
The owners of the house isn't going to get any shit for this, right?
That's how I interpreted it.
Yeah, you interpreted it like he's not going to get in any trouble. He's not going to be a suspect, correct?
Correct.
And he's not going to be implicated in any way. Is that right?
Correct.
And your answer was one word, correct?
Yes.
What was that word?
Nope.
And then you followed that up with an explanation as to why you said no, didn't you?
That wasn't the explanation why I said nope. I simply said homeowner is a Boston cop too, meaning Mr. O'Keefe was a Boston cop. The homeowner was a Boston cop as well.
The question that preceded your answer, nope, the homeowner's a Boston cop too, was the homeowner's going to get some shit for this, correct?
That's not what I meant with that text.
That's what you wrote.
Not what I meant, sir.
All right, let's take it in order. Question. Oh goodness, the homeowner's going to get some shit for this. Answer, nope. Next text. He's a Boston cop too. That doesn't sound like an explanation for your note.
Also, just side note, Karen's hair looks phenomenal on this day. Not the important thing, but just an important thing to point out.
And that was a big conversation the other night from homework.
And that's why he's not going to get
beauty salons.
What?
Beauty salons. That was a big thing in homework class. People were wondering if there were beauty salons. Because nobody had hair.
Oh.
You know, maybe we covered Dev.
Actually,
What's her name? Eve.
the judge of character in some of these police officers is if they still have their hair or not.
Oh no, no man has hair in Massachusetts, and no woman cuts off her split ends. That was what the other night was.
It's not wrong.
correct, Trooper Proctor?
Well, he's not going to receive any shit, sir, because he had Mr. Albert, the homeowner, had nothing to do with Mr. O'Keefe's death.
And you knew this 16 hours into your investigation.
Yes.
Less than a day.
Yes.
To your satisfaction.
To my satisfaction
And
and
you
to the
hadn't
members
been
of my
to the
unit.
crime scene?
So let him finish. We didn't get the finish your answer.
To my satisfaction and to all the members of my unit who investigated that day.
Objection. Calls for speculation.
So I'm going to let it stand. Trooper Proctor, you have to keep your voice up, okay? Jurors need to hear you way back there.
Yes, ma'am.
The fact of the matter is, you hadn't been to the crime scene by the time you wrote this text, correct?
Correct.
You hadn't been inside the home, correct?
No.
You had you had questioned a grand total of 3 percipient witnesses at this point, correct?
Yes.
And 2 of the 3 were named McCabe, right?
Correct.
And 1 of the 3 was named Albert, correct?
Yes.
And it's against that backdrop that you wrote, nope, the homeowner's not going to get any shit because he's a cop, right?
That's not what I meant by that.
At 10:57, Bird goes on to write, he, the homeowner, must have been a puddle to accomplish that. And then he writes, who's the homeowner? And then he writes, I hope not, but I can see it. Correct?
Yes.
A puddle means drunk, correct?
That's a term for it, yes.
In other words, Bird wrote.
So basically, his friend who has done no investigation, this is not like on the news yet or anything. His friend is like, oh, there's a Boston cop on another Boston cop's lawn. I solved it. They got into a fight. But Proctor is like, no, actually. So his friend, who's not a police officer, maybe should be the one who is a police officer. Bird.
That the homeowner must have been so drunk, so wasted to have killed him. Correct?
Mm-hmm.
Objection.
Do you know what that means?
Yep.
Do you know what that text means?
Just the puddle part, Your Honor. That term.
All right, so he can answer that.
And the puddle part means drunk or wasted, right?
Yes.
And what Bird actually wrote was, he must have been a puddle to accomplish that. Correct?
That's what he wrote.
And then you write back, quote, she waffled him. I looked at his body at the hospital, right?
Correct.
You used the phrase waffled about a Boston police officer who had fallen in the snow and died in someone's yard. And you decided to use the word waffled him, correct?
Objection.
So sustained. Ask it differently, Mr. Jackson.
Did you answer, she waffled him, I looked at his body at the hospital?
I did answer that, yes.
And then Bird questioned, she waffled him, correct?
Yes.
And then you responded, he was banged up. Is that right?
Yes.
Then a person.
Now, if somebody was hit by a car, to the point that like their injuries were so obvious that they got hit by a car that you can confidently tell people like, no, he got hit by a car. What would those injuries be to you? Like, what would you guess some of those injuries might be?
Broken bones and bruising and internal bleeding.
Dog bites on his arm? Is that what you would expect? Hi,
Give me a
Vince.
waffle.
Yeah, broken bones, internal bleeding, bruising. He didn't have any of that. He had a 3-inch gash on the back of his head, which is what the injury was that killed him. He had coup contre coup injury to his brain. He had raccoon eyes, which are like 2 swollen eyes, and he had dog bites on his arm. He had no
Do you have any
broken
broken
bones.
teeth?
No.
Kim does.
I told you I'll never make fun of her teeth because I got that a lot about my space. So I know how it is.
Well, you weren't punched in the face either.
And he had a bruise on his right hand, either defensive bruise or from throwing a punch, offensive or defensive, whatever it is, very much. Yeah, he had a cut on his tongue. I don't know that I knew that. Did I know that? That hurts. I know that's not, even like thinking about biting my tongue hurts. But so he is like very confidently telling his friend, like, no, I know for sure that he didn't get into a fight in the house because I saw his body at the hospital. But at the hospital, he had dog bites on his arm and okay, continuing.
With the phone number 0095 wrote, I thought he was drunk. Did he get beat up? You see that?
I do.
And you wrote, nope. Is that right?
Yup.
Correct.
Yet again, this is before 11 o'clock at night on January 29th, 2022, some 16 hours into your investigation. Is that right?
Yes.
So before you ever went to the crime scene, before you ever went into the house, only having interviewed 3 folks, you had this case nice and wrapped up, didn't you?
Yes, based on the evidence my office uncovered that day, the 1 shoot discovered at the scene, the 1 shoot at the hospital, Mr. O'Keefe's injuries, the broken taillight pieces underneath the snow.
Super Proctor, I didn't ask for an explanation. I asked, did you, in your mind, have this case wrapped up? Was it cut and dry in your mind?
That's a question.
Yes. Bird then writes, so the owner of the house was a woman. Sorry, was a woman cop that beat him? Question mark, right?
Vince wants you to do kill, fuck, marry Julie Nagel, Sarah Levinson, and me. I'm not going to make you answer that. Sorry, Vince.
Yes. I don't know what it is.
And then you wrote, that's what I initially thought after talking to Canton paramedics. Is that right?
Yes.
And then you said, then I saw the guy, correct?
Correct.
So what you meant by that, Trooper Proctor, was according to you, based on your conversations, your initial conversations with the paramedics, the first responders, you were under the impression that this was a beating death. He'd been beaten to death, correct?
The way it was given to me, sir, was
That's yes
a
or
medical.
no? That's yes
So
or no?
he's going to answer the question. If you want to withdraw the question, you can.
No, go ahead.
We entered this investigation with an open mind. It was given to me as a medical situation. And when we saw Mr. O'Keefe's body at the hospital, Sergeant Buchanan and I, we saw his injuries and we were kind of working through how these injuries occurred.
As a matter of fact, both you and Sergeant Buchanan believed that he had suffered the injuries as a result of a physical altercation based on information you received from the paramedics initially, correct?
Initially, we didn't know what we had. We knew there was some significant injuries to Mr. O'Keefe.
Is he becoming a robot?
Figuring out.
I don't know what's happening with this sound. He kind of sounds like the devil, which isn't.
But yeah, because like I thought you had slowed it down or something, but Alan Jackson was normal.
I know.
This
really
is
weird.
this is Satan's coming through. Oh, I've heard about this happening. You can't hide the Prince of Darkness. Like eventually, he always shows himself. Oh, like look if you look around his head, like he looks like he's coming off the screen. Oh, yeah, this is not good. Not good.
How those injuries occurred.
Well, you just testified. Initially, we didn't know what we had.
Right.
But 16 hours after the fact, you wrote the following sentence. That's what I initially thought after talking to Canton paramedics. Correct?
Correct.
So initially, you did think you knew what you had. A physical altercation leading to a death. Correct?
Correct.
So when you just said, initially we didn't know what we had, that wasn't quite true. You did at least have an idea of what you thought you had, correct?
Objection.
Sustained.
All right. You were aware initially that John O'Keefe had suffered a 2-inch laceration to the back of his head, correct?
Yes.
That resulted in a skull fracture, correct?
Correct.
He had a laceration over his right eye, small laceration just under the eyebrow, correct?
Yes.
Had a laceration on his nose. Is that right?
Correct.
He had patterned scratches on his right arm, abrasions, scratches, correct?
Yes.
And he had no injuries below the neck.
Not that I observed, sir.
Not a single broken bone, correct?
Not that I was aware of.
Not a single fracture, correct?
Okay, Vince, I'll answer this one. Kill, fuck, marry, Proctor, Yuri, and Trooper Paul. Okay. Okay. Let me think about it. I will answer. And
Not
then
that
you
I-
have to stop.
Was aware of.
Sounds
Not
like
a
it's
single
incriminating.
bruise below the neck, right?
My
Not that I-
advice to you is don't answer
A
anything.
lot like a physical altercation, doesn't it?
I
Objection.
don't know.
Sustained.
Bird writes, Bear, let's focus, correct?
Yes.
Who's Bear?
That's another nickname I have.
0095 writes, what does she waffling mean? And
He's a
Bird writes,
bear.
what's the story, correct?
Correct.
And you wrote, she hit him with her car. Is that right?
Yes.
Have you ever seen, in your experience, have you ever seen a pedestrian who's hit by a 6,000-pound car with no bruises? Ever?
The pedestrian strikes I've seen have been at high speeds,
And that's
60
enough
plus.
A person out of the shoe, right?
60 plus miles per hour. So I can't recall right now off the top of my head as far as injuries in the past pedestrian strikes I've attended.
Okay. So someone, you indicated on Monday, under examination by Mr. Lally, you've seen shoes,
Correct.
pedestrian strikes, correct?
Yes.
Those are high speed, extremely high speed incidents, correct?
Yes.
60 plus miles an hour, right?
I can't recall all the pedestrian strikes I've been to as far as the miles per hour the vehicle is traveling.
Trooper Proctor, let me ask you the question again. Have you ever, yes or no, have you ever, in your experience, seen a vehicle pedestrian incident in which the pedestrian has no bruises?
Objection.
Have you seen that?
I can't recall.
Next question.
After you wrote, she hit him with her car, 5051 writes, oh, Jesus. And Bird writes, okay,
50-51.
that's fucked up.
I
correct?
caught that earlier.
And then you wrote what?
It's the
Intentional.
dyslexia in me loved it.
Intentional or not? Is that right?
Yes.
Your words.
Correct.
0095 then chimes in, gotcha. He was frozen in the driveway and she didn't see him? Question mark. Correct?
Correct.
And you wrote what?
That's another animal we won't be able to prove.
That's another animal we won't be able to prove. Correct?
Correct.
So his friend was asking if this was intentional or not. And he says, that's another animal we won't be able to prove. Number one, this is 16 hours in, as he has repeatedly said. How do you know? Like, if you really believe, like, put yourself in the mindset of an investigator who truly believes that they're investigating an intentional homicide. There are ways that you could prove it. Number one, like, they didn't listen to John's voicemail yet or something. Karen could have left a message that was like, I just killed you. I hate you. She didn't. She left messages that were very clear that she did not just hit him. There could have been ring camera footage across the street. There probably was, but there could have been ring camera footage where it made it really obvious that there was an intentional homicide. The fact that he was already saying, like, we might not be able to prove it is, and this is why everybody needs to vote for Adam Deitch, because he wants to get to the bottom of this. Or I think Adam Deitch actually already did get to the bottom of this, and he just wants to tell us all.
Yeah. You just charge her because she's there? I mean,
so something that I have wavered on in this, and I'm curious what people in the chat think. I go back and forth between, did Michael Proctor know that he was covering up what really happened in this moment? Or did Michael Proctor just blindly believe Brian Albert and Jen McCabe, and they said John never came in the house, Karen hit him, and so he was like, great, and then just got tunnel vision? I go back and forth a lot. I think it's the like more nefarious option, but I could be convinced that it was the other one. And if any like anti-Karen Reed people were being honest with themselves, with us, they would also be mad at this. And the fact that the like anti-Karen Reed people defend this tells me how disingenuous they are about their support for this. And yes, I requested my Adam Deitch lawn sign, and I'm very excited about it.
so his friends are doing a better job of investigating than he is, right?
And that is their questions, and his responses are kind of what makes me lean towards like the more nefarious option, because if he just thought that, if he was just kind of like blindly following what Jen and Brian had told him, and you know, thought that he got hit by a car, but then was talking to his friends and they're saying this, I feel like his responses would have been like, yeah, I don't know, like, we're still looking into it, we're still trying to figure, like, he is doubling down on the like stupid decisions that he's already made, to the point that it almost makes me feel like he's like testing out like this theory on his friends to see if it's going to like hold up in the general public.
I don't think he's that. I mean, remember, it takes a lot of, you know, mental stamina to lie like this.
Yes. And also, to be clear, I don't think that Proctor created, like, I don't think that any of this stemmed from Proctor. Like, I don't think Proctor was the one that was like, I have a great idea. I just think that he was a very easy pawn.
Oh, yeah, what Leslie said. I agree with that.
Okay.
Trooper Proctor, you knew that there were going to be things in this case, even 16 hours into this, that you just admitted you would have zero proof of, correct?
Objection.
Sustained. You can ask it differently.
Did you mean by that statement that this was one of several things that you knew we would not be able to prove?
That statement, that's another animal we won't be able to prove, references the intentional or not part.
You didn't care at that point when you wrote that, you didn't care what you could or could not prove, did you?
Objection.
I'll allow it.
Isn't that what you meant?
No.
You had a narrative that you had developed and you would pursue it no matter what the proof was. That's what you meant by that statement, correct?
Objection.
Sustained. You can ask it differently, Mr.
Did you mean by that, thank you, Your Honor, I didn't mean to step on your words. Did you mean by that statement that you were going to pursue this case no matter what the proof might be?
What I meant by that statement was if Miss Reed backed into Mr. O'Keefe intentionally or not.
Interestingly, though, that statement came on the heels of he was frozen in the driveway and she didn't see him. And you wrote in response to that question, that's another animal we won't be able to prove. Correct?
That's not what I was responding to. I was responding to the intentional or not part.
So you were responding to your own statement.
Correct.
Okay. 0095 then writes, what's the name of the Canton cop living in Canton? The other one involved. Correct?
Yes.
In other words, that person was asking, tell me the name of the homeowner. Isn't that right?
Yes.
The guy that's the cop, right?
Correct.
And you ignored that question for a second time. Is that right?
Yes.
As a matter of fact, not one time, not once in this entire group chat did you disclose the name Brian Albert, did you?
I don't believe so, no.
You were actively trying to hide Brian Albert's name, at least from this conversation.
Objection.
I'll allow it. Is that what you were trying to do?
Absolutely not.
But you had no problem sharing John O'Keefe's name with your buddies from high school, right?
Correct.
And you had no problem sharing Karen Reed's name with your buddies from high school, correct?
Oh, good point.
I don't believe I named the defendant.
Not yet, you didn't. Later in the chat.
Okay, correct.
5051 then writes, the BPD have any jurisdiction here because it was their own? Question mark. Is that right?
Yes.
And a few texts later, if you look down a few texts, at about 11 o'clock, you see a text that starts, nah, cat.
I do, sir, yes.
You responded, quote, nah, N-A-H, nah, cat, K-A-T-T. It's the total opposite. They have to recuse themselves. Same with Canton. Correct?
That text ends as they have to recuse themselves.
You then text back. I'm sorry. Can I have a moment?
Yes.
Flip the next page.
I see where you're at, sir.
How did you end that text?
Same with Canton.
Meaning Canton has to recuse itself also, correct?
That was my understanding.
So by 11 p.m. on January 29th, 2022, there was no question in your mind, Trooper Proctor, that the Canton Police Department was recused from this investigation in all particulars, correct?
That they had taken a step back from participating, yes.
Right. Well, there's one way to put it. They've taken a step back from participating. Another way to put it is they recused themselves completely, correct?
Correct.
They were not going to be, at least in your mind, they were not to be involved in any way, just like Boston PD was not to be involved in any way. Is that right?
Objection.
Is that what you were thinking?
It was my understanding they were not going to be involved.
Now, if we could turn to page 2537, 5051 writes, but I assume you guys are out to make it cut and dry since it involves cops, correct?
Yes.
And Bird writes, something stinks, correct?
Correct.
And then Trooper Proctor.
How do we get Bird on the force? Bird's the only one that's talking any sense in this whole chat. Something does.
Do you know who
stink.
Bird is?
Thank you, Bird. No. We met one of his friends. So in the retrial, Proctor doesn't testify and they still want to get his texts in. So they bring in one of his friends that is on the text chain, who actually like didn't respond at all. And at one point, when they get to all the bad words coming up soon, the friend looks at it and goes, these are not my words. I don't feel comfortable saying them. So then Hank has to say them. So he's like supposed to be there to like make Proctor look good. He's like, yeah, like he's my friend. Like we've known each other since kindergarten. And then the friend is like, yeah, I can't say these words. This man's disgusting.
You responded, yeah, but there will be some serious charges brought on the girl. Isn't that right?
That's right.
So in that text exchange, you were saying, yeah, we're out to make it cut and dry, correct?
No.
You didn't write, yeah, we're going to follow the evidence wherever it takes us. You didn't, did you?
I did not write that.
You didn't write, yeah, we're going to make sure that we investigate this thing fully and thoroughly before making any decisions. You didn't say that, did you?
I did not.
You wrote, yeah, but there will be some serious charges brought on the girl. Isn't that right?
Correct.
And the reason you wrote that is because you knew, as the text above it says, this has to be cut and dry because it involves cops, right?
Objection.
I'm going to allow that. Is that the reason you wrote it?
No, Your Honor.
And then you indicated, we're going to put serious charges on the girl. Who did you mean by the girl, by the way?
The defendant.
Karen Reed?
Yes, sir.
So
Also, just FYI for reactions, this is Karen's dad. This is Karen's mom. This is Karen's brother.
Okay, because I'm glad that's her dad. I thought that was
Dad.
Mr. Roper from Three's Company.
He's the loveliest man.
the way that you were
So
going to
is
make it
Roper.
cut and dry, pretty simple. Just pin it on the girl, right?
Objection.
Is that right?
Absolutely not. Follow the facts and the evidence from that day on the 29th, and everything led to Miss Reed hitting Mr. O'Keefe with her vehicle.
But that wasn't the question that you were answering, was it? We're going to follow the evidence and make sure we do this thoroughly. The question you were answering was, I assume you guys, you, Trooper Proctor, and your team are going to, quote, make it cut and dry, since it involves cops, meaning Brian Albert, correct?
Incorrect. Doesn't matter to me if the homeowner's a cop, if the victim's a police officer. Myself and everyone in my office investigated this case that Saturday, had an overwhelming amount of evidence that Miss Reed struck Mr. O'Keefe. So it didn't matter to us what their occupation was.
We'll see. Let's keep reading, shall we?
Shall we?
5051, a little further down says, gotta be. I could only imagine what internal affairs at BPD are trying to get out there. Correct?
Correct.
Meaning, this person, 5051, was opining, at least in your mind, you interpreted that as being Boston police are going to have a lot to answer for, given the fact that another Boston police officer was found dead on that officer's lawn. Correct?
Objection.
What were you thinking?
Can't speak to.
Also, do you notice for all of these objections, Bev never says sustained, but she just asks him the question instead. What were you thinking? Is that what you meant by that?
Yeah, why is she grilling Proctor?
Well, because now she's in a bind because she doesn't like Proctor, but she also doesn't like Alan Jackson. And she doesn't want to do Alan Jackson not even any favors. She doesn't want to be fair. She doesn't want to do what she's supposed to as a judge.
I forgot she's a public defender.
Yes. But
So
she
knows
also,
Proctor.
well, and she probably just knows Proctor because she's a judge in a Massachusetts court. Yeah, just nobody likes Proctor. His own wife doesn't like him.
Mindset to that comment. I'm not.
350, Vince. He is married to Lizzie. Yeah. Lucky
Man, I was
lady.
hoping there's going to be a dance-off video or something with him. Everybody else seems to have one.
There probably is somewhere.
I wasn't sure how to interpret that one.
All right, next question, Mr. Jackson.
Then 5051 changes gears. And he writes, she hot at least? Correct?
Yes.
Gotta ask that question.
From all accounts, he didn't do a thing wrong. She's a whack job cunt.
From all accounts, he didn't do a thing wrong. She's a whack job cunt.
And this is within the 16 hours?
Yep, this is like 10 o'clock that night.
Has he met her?
They met briefly at her parents' house. They talked for probably.
Oh, this poor guy. He's a patsy. This is somebody told him, like, oh, yeah, she's a whack job and all this other stuff. He doesn't know anything. He's a bear. He's looking for some honey.
Everything you just said is correct, except for this poor guy part, because yes, he's a patsy. Yes, he was told everything that he thinks, but like a decent police officer still has the power to be like, okay, thanks for letting me know. I'm still going to do my investigation. Thanks. And this is what I mean by like,
decent human.
there is a, right. But like, there is a world where there is a police officer out there that says all these same things, but still does like a normal investigation, still knows how to do their job. So he's like all of the problems.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, like when you're saying earlier about like there's a lot of things that he says that are very cringy. I was saying, it's everybody's been in the worst situation, right? Or people in war say stuff and everything. I don't know. It's just I was like it's a lot of times words are not your intent, they're not your actions, and that ultimately shows everything. You watch a movie and you hear them say a lot of awful words. That doesn't necessarily mean that the actor represents those.
Well, and that's what I mean by like this section that we're about to get into is like the part of the text message chain that got a lot of attention and kind of like had the shock value that ended up on the news and the like kind of broke through to like the people that weren't even following the trial. But to me, the real problem is like the piece that we just heard, which is like he was already making it very obvious that he was not going to do an like he is the lead investigator, like follow my lead, like I'm in charge, do what I do what I say. So the fact that he had already either made up his mind or been told what to do, that we don't know for sure yet. But yes, like Strange just said, we have 13 years of his text messages now. I mean, he's a doofus. Like he is a terrible person. He is, and not even just because of how misogynistic, racist, homophobic, all the words, all the ists that he is, but because of his like racism, homophobia, misogynism, he is single-handedly going to like destroy like anybody who's in prison right now where Proctor touched your case has grounds for an appeal.
So it sounds like the text messages reassured people what they already thought about him instead of being shocked that was like that's not anything like they'd ever expect to come out of him.
Right. I wonder, Melinda, is this real life asked, we're about to get into this where he already knows that she has stomach issues. I wonder if when they were at the hospital, if they had spoken to any, like they don't bring that up, but I wonder if they had, or if she brought it up. I don't know. That I actually don't know the answer to.
Well, I mean, how would he know anyway? I mean, he doesn't seem.
Well, we're about to see that he knows. We don't know how he knows.
Into this investigation.
Or it's just
into your objective and unbiased, thorough investigation. Correct?
Correct.
But sir, you didn't have all accounts, did you?
What I meant by that was
Did you or did you not have all accounts in your investigation?
the accounts we had was Miss Reed struck Mr. O'Keefe with her vehicle, discovered taillight pieces at the scene. Those are the accounts we had.
The accounts
And then
you
some.
had, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
The accounts you had, Trooper Proctor, were from two people named McCabe and one named Albert, who happened to be the homeowner and a Boston cop. Those are the accounts from recipient witnesses that you had, correct?
There was another additional witness that we had investigators had interviewed, Miss Roberts, as well.
And from all accounts, he didn't do a thing wrong. That was your decision 16 hours into the investigation, correct?
Yes.
And the other decision that you made and the other determination you came to was my client, Karen Reed, was a whack job cunt, right?
Yes.
What else did you say in response to she's hot at least? Or she hot at least, question mark.
So following that text, I responded, yeah, she's a babe. Weird Fall River accent, though. No ass.
Yeah, she's a babe. Who's the she?
Miss Reed.
Weird Fall River accent, though. You talking about her, the way she talks?
The accent.
And no ass. Now you're talking about her body, her physique, correct?
Yes.
You think that's appropriate?
Absolutely not.
Then Bird chimes in with a little comedy. Not newsworthy then, correct?
Bird.
Bird's right, man. Bird's right. Bird nailed it. Holy
Bird's
cow.
a
I've
police
said that.
officer. Bird's a reporter. Bird knows what's up. Bird, you want to come on, talk to us? I would love to have a
Listen,
chit
hey,
chat.
I'll tell you right now, if there's a blonde-haired, blue-eyed girl that goes missing in America, you better hold your books because everybody's gonna be covering it.
But Bird will solve it. Just give Bird the facts and he'll figure it out.
Yeah, all you gotta do is give a sentence or two to him.
Yeah.
She didn't have an ass. Nothing to see here, correct?
Objection.
Sustained.
And then 5051 says, oh, she's skating, right?
Correct.
And what did you write after that?
My response was zero chance she skated.
And then what did you write?
She's fucked.
Zero chance she skates. She's fucked, right?
Correct.
You decided on the 29th of January, 17 hours into this investigation, you decided individually, Trooper Proctor, you're not only going to put it on the girl, you decided you're going to make sure this is cut and dry, and the way you're going to do it is to make sure that she's fucked. That's what you were saying.
Objection.
All right, so that's sustained. The content's fine. You have to ask it differently.
The content's
17
fine.
hours into this investigation,
Holy
Trooper
cow.
Proctor, you made the decision that you were going to put it on Miss Reed, didn't you? Put the case on Miss Reed. She was going to catch the case, correct?
No, absolutely not.
What did you mean then when you said she's fucked?
After the day's investigation with multiple troopers conducting multiple tasks and a debriefing at Canton PD amongst detectives in my office, we went through the overwhelming amount of evidence.
I'm sorry, after a debriefing where? Oh, at Canton
His
PD? At the place that's recused? Not at his office.
Oh,
At Canton Police Department. I don't even know why. Yeah. There a debriefing at the Canton Police Department, the place that's recused from the investigation. Okay. Cool. Also, look at him like begging the jurors to believe him. Look at his face. Like, please, just one juror believe me. Oh, and by the way, it is just important to always point out anytime we're watching first trial footage, this jury was hung. They couldn't figure out what happened.
They didn't know who done it.
They sat through, or it wasn't even they didn't know who did it. They couldn't figure out if Karen was not guilty beyond a reasonable doubt or not. They were conflicted about if there was reasonable doubt after this.
Against Miss Reed that she struck Mr. O'Keefe with her vehicle. That's what I meant by that comment.
What you meant by that comment, Trooper Proctor, was you were going to make sure, because 5051 had said she's going to skate. She's skating. When you said 0 chance she skates, she's fucked. What you meant was, I am going to make sure Ms. Reed doesn't skate. She's fucked. That's what you meant, isn't it?
Objection.
Sustained.
And then Bird decides to chime in. Good, no ass bitch, right?
Yes, that's what he wrote.
And how did you respond to Bird saying, good, no ass bitch?
I laughed.
Thought that was funny, did you? Trooper Proctor? Thought that was funny?
It was unprofessional of me. That's something I shouldn't have done.
Well, I think we all know it was unprofessional. It was a lot of things. I'm asking you, did you think it was funny?
No, according to my response at the time.
You didn't get an objection on that.
Then you said
Bird said
just
good.
to add the pile on of Miss Reed being arrested, correct?
I'm not sure if that came from me, sir.
Let's skip to 2543. Are you there, Trooper Proctor?
Yes.
The date is now February 2nd, 2022. And a person by the name of Doc writes, is that chick a smoke? Correct?
Correct.
Who's the chick?
Miss Reed.
And you write E-H, right?
Yes.
And then you write nutbag, as Chief would say, correct?
Correct.
Who's Chief?
A friend of mine.
And then you write what?
She's got a leaky balloon knot.
Trooper Proctor.
This is just an important person to point out, as Cusco Wright said. This is the tiny desk. They moved to a smaller courtroom and they couldn't fit everything in there. And this guy who does the media stuff just got smushed into this little tiny kindergarten desk. And then in the next trial, there's an even bigger guy who sits at the tiny desk.
I mean, that's like a folding desk thing.
Yeah.
Explain to the jurors what a balloon knot is.
Your essentially, I guess, your rectum area.
Your anus?
Yes.
That's what you're referring to about Miss Reed?
Yes.
And you were making fun of her because you believed at that time that it leaked? That's how you were treating Miss Reed? Yes or no?
Yes.
And then you followed that up just to make sure you cleared up any mistake about what you meant with leaks poo, correct?
Objection.
All right, so I'm going to strike that. You could get this in, but do it the right way, Mr. Jackson.
You followed that up with the phrase leaks poo, didn't you?
I did.
Again, another reference to Miss Reed's medical issues and medical conditions, correct?
Correct.
Specifically focused on her anus, correct?
In reference, yes.
Nice sigh.
Were you aware at the time that you wrote this that Miss Reed had suffered a colectomy surgery, very serious surgery?
I was not, sir, no.
Were you aware that she had had 10 surgeries in 18 months, several years prior? 10.
I was not aware of that.
So then how were you aware about anything having to do with her medical condition? Like, unless she, I hate this part. Like, this is where it's just like, you're just the lowest level of society.
Were you aware that she had serious medical issues, gastrointestinal medical issues that she suffered with, she was a victim of for years? Did you know that?
Objection.
Sustained.
But you decided that you're going to take another shot at her and talk about her anatomy.
1 second, sir. I'm sorry. All set.
I'm sorry. Christine. You decided that you were going to take another shot at her and talk about her anatomy as a balloon knot, correct?
Objection.
Sustained.
At this point, Trooper Proctor, Miss Reed was just reduced to a punchline to you, wasn't she?
Objection.
Sustained.
Well, you weren't done yet. This chat doesn't end yet, does it?
No, sir.
Let's skip to 2543. On the same date, February 2nd, 2022, about 4:15 p.m., a person by the name of Whitey wrote, "What are you guzzling on?" Correct?
Yes.
And you wrote, "Nothing," writing a warrant. Is that right?
Correct.
Oh, what are you drinking? What are you
Whitey
guzzling on?
sort of a video, correct?
Yes.
Pesky work.
Video being of the 1980s band Warrant.
I don't recall the video he sent.
0095 laughed and then wrote, "Wait, why does her asshole leak?" Correct?
Yes, that's what he wrote.
And then what did Doc write in response to that?
Objection, Your Honor.
The objection sustained. I'll see it. Sidebar, take that down, please.
Trooper Proctor, without getting to the specifics of the words used in the following, in the next exchange that you're looking at, it's fair to say that your high school buddies then continue to discuss Miss Reed's medical issues, correct?
Objection.
That's sustained. Come on, Mr. Jackson. That isn't what you said you'd ask. Go ahead and ask the question you said you'd ask.
Was there a continued discussion that finished on this subject matter?
Yes.
On Monday, you indicated that your conduct in this case, and specifically your conduct as reflected in these messages, how did you put it? It did not affect the integrity of the investigation, of your investigation, correct? That's what you
Correct.
said to the jurors.
Correct.
You know what the definition of integrity is?
Doing the right thing when no one's looking.
Boy, he's got that one deep down.
Being honest and having strong.
That's literally what my kindergartners, like, that is the kindergarten definition of integrity, but sure.
Really?
Yeah, my school had 5 core values and integrity was one of them, and they would say, like, integrity is doing the right thing. I mean, we would talk about it in terms of them being in the hallway and like not running or talking in the hallway. But Michael Proctor, it's not just when no one's looking. Like, integrity when no one's looking is not integrity is doing the right thing. Period. When everybody's looking at you, when all the time, just do the right thing.
Yeah.
We're gonna finish this part, this little exchange up, and then we're gonna pause on Michael Proctor for a minute and debrief him, take a fervent break, and then do our palate cleanse. Just so you know.
Moral principles, correct?
Objection.
Sustained.
Do you believe that integrity means being honest and having strong moral principles?
I believe that's part of it as well.
Do you stand by that testimony that you were showing strong moral principles in this investigation, sir?
In the investigation part, absolutely. Through these text messages, absolutely not. They were juvenile and regrettable.
And we're going to pause there for now. Thoughts on this man that my fake Siggy knows is a crappy cop and not a cop anymore. Thoughts, questions, comments, concerns.
He's a super cop. He got everything figured out in 16 hours.
Yeah. Isn't that amazing? Because it's 4.5 years later and people are still debating what happened, but he knew for sure because there was one shoe at the hospital.
Do we know anything about this shoe?
Oh, boy, is that a can of worms?
Why do I ask questions?
Well, it's because every part of this saga, there's no answer. Okay.
Let me guess. It's a limited edition shoe that only 500 were made in the world, but there just happened to be one of them in the McAllister's front yard.
McAllister.
McCabe's, whatever they are. I don't even know anymore.
Take what you just said and flip to the exact opposite. Imagine it's a shoe that like you could easily get a replacement for.
It's the most common shoe in America.
I'm not even gonna answer that question right now, but I am gonna write down that we're gonna do a whole thing about the shoe because they're
Zach wears those shoes every day.
Where the shoe
The
ends
Jerry
up being
Seinfeld shoes.
now. I'm not even gonna tell you anything right now, but just I now have one note and it just says shoe.
Oh my gosh.
There's so much with the shoe. For example, people have speculated that maybe a different shoe was found than the one that he was wearing. At the retrial, they opened the bag of evidence. There's 2 right shoes. It's a whole thing.
What?
It's
Hold on. They opened the bag of evidence. There's 2 right shoes.
They blamed this jury. So they said it was actually that the jury like put the shoe back in the wrong bag. Like we're not going to do that tonight. We're not going there. We're not answering it tonight.
I'm gonna assume this is another chain of evidence thing.
Oh yeah. By chain you mean it doesn't exist. And with the day that we do the shoes, we'll also do the socks. We could literally do an entire night of Squirrel School just on the shoes and socks.
Wait, were there no socks?
There was 2 socks, there was 1 sock, there was no socks, there was 1 sock, there was black socks, there was no socks. The black soles of the shoes turned white. The shoes were brand spanking new, even though they were found in like a pile of dirty snow. Well, you hold that one.
I'm guessing they weren't even his size either, were they?
Unclear. We never actually really got to dig into that one.
I don't even know if it fits his foot. I mean, if the glove doesn't fit, you must have quit.
Well, in this case, I said if Judd won't take a 24-mile-an-hour hit, you must have quit. But that too. Okay. There's so much more about Michael Proctor, but that is where we're going to leave him.
Where's his tree house? How far away is his tree house from his house? I figure he seems like a tree house guy. He just sits there.
Like a Keebler elf.
He plays bear games. Rawr.
You know what's funny is when he was driving drunk in his cruiser. Shoot, we need to get to that. When he was driving drunk in his cruiser with Kevin Albert, they went to Treehouse Brewery. So you're not wrong.
No, you don't understand. I'm the guy who says funny stuff. Okay, like I see the world in a different shade of colors and stuff.
But literally everything you say about this trial is not. You're not wrong.
This is not real. I've never seen any of this stuff. I cannot make this up.
Wait, actually,
This is all fake. I
Wait,
know this.
okay, we're gonna do one more part of him because we're gonna see him and Kevin Albert. Okay, hold please. Kevin Albert is Brian Albert's brother. He's a detective for the Camden Police Department, and he's a friend. He has a lot of brothers. He's one of 6.
Because he's a poor potato or whatever.
Yes, exactly. He's a poor potato.
They all have lots of kids.
He's one of 6, and his parents gave him, Brian Albert, the childhood home that they grew up in. So of all the siblings, Brian was the one chosen to get to live in their family home.
Do they have a ceremony? Do they have a family like sword where they go, I do hereby ordain you to have the family home?
Probably. But then
no, they
right
played bagpipes
this,
or something.
Yeah, they probably did. But right after this, Brian Albert sold the family home for $50,000 under asking price and moved into a crappy townhouse on a very busy street across from a gas station and a liquor store. So that's cool. That doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean they're guilty. Okay. One more Michael Proctor shit show, and then we'll do a fervent break. And this is about, a woman who's, that's another one we're not going to get into right now. A woman that apparently made the Albert family rock. Don't ask.
Yes, sir.
Do I have a number or a letter?
We're still in tab 13. Are we still in
A
tab
rock in the front yard that John hit his head on?
Page 2602. May I?
Yes.
Thank you. Trooper Proctor, are you on 2602?
I am.
The fact of the matter, does that refresh your recollection that on July 19th, 2022, you and Kevin Albert have been out drinking together?
It does.
In fact, the two of you got so drunk that Kevin Albert left in your cruiser and couldn't find his gun the next morning, right?
Objection.
Can't speak to any level of intoxication, but I don't recall either of us being intoxicated.
Got it. So
no, because I was blacked out.
Is it true that at 7/20, July 20th, 2022, the day after, at 8:39 in the morning, you texted Kevin Albert, quote, "Found your badge in my cruiser this morning," end quote, correct?
Yes.
Then you texted him, "I can leave it in my locker at the gym, drop it off at your station, or leave it in my mailbox," correct?
Correct.
Kevin Albert responds, "My mailbox. Did I take my gun?" And then included a wince face emoji, correct?
Correct.
So the fact of the matter is, you two got so drunk that he couldn't find his badge and had to ask you the next morning where his gun was, right?
Again, I can't speak to any level of intoxication, whether he just forgot it. I don't know.
I'm not asking you about his BAC, Trooper Proctor. I'm asking, have you seen drunk people before?
Yes.
You've been drunk before.
Yes, I have, sir.
We've all been drunk before, right?
Yes.
Was he drunk? Were you drunk that night?
I don't recall. It was a long time ago.
But he left his badge in your cruiser after a night of drinking. Isn't that right?
Yes.
Which means you were drinking and driving in your cruiser. Right?
From what I remember, we were down the Cape working on the cold case together and stopped for dinner, had a few beers, and then dropped him off.
The next morning, Kevin Albert also texted you at page 2606. Starting with "It's bad." Tell me when you see that.
Okay, see it.
Kevin Albert responded, "It's bad!" Exclamation point, exclamation point. "I was hungover for sure today!" Exclamation point, exclamation point. "Couple tonight to make me feel good." End quote. Correct?
Correct.
You can take that down. Does that reflect?
Okay. So that's where we're going to stop on Proctor for tonight. Thoughts?
So, I didn't hear him say. Did he say he lost about his gun too?
Yeah, Kevin Albert lost his gun in Proctor's car when they were both drinking and driving in Proctor's cruiser, which Proctor turned off his GPS for. So cool.
They have a GPS tracker in their cars.
Yeah, it was a new thing for the Massachusetts State Police that it was like their integrity. And he just would turn it off every time he left his house and then turn it back on when he got home. Yeah, cool. We're going to take a fervent break and then we're going to do a palate cleanse, which is funny,
they went after Kelly Fitzsimmons because she didn't have her gun locked in her house, her police gun.
Yeah, she did have
I know
it.
it's different and everything else, but I just think it's funny that I don't know why. It all comes together to me in a weird way. It's all mashed potatoes up here.
Yes, you are correct. Her name's Kelsey, but you were close.
Would I say Kelly?
Kelly.
You know what? That's not my fault. That's not my fault at all because my chat, they told me it was Fitzpatrick, Fitzsimmons, Fitzgerald. They told me everything. And they'd say Kelly, Kelsey, Ketchup, maybe. I mean, it was so many names. And I'm like, this is not you guys. You're going to make me look like an idiot more so than I make myself look like. And they're over there just going, ha, 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 ha. They think it's so funny. And see, anybody who's in my chat, this is what you get. You made me a fool again. Because I surely had nothing to do with it.
Nobody thinks you're a fool. We're all very proud of you. You're learning a lot. It's a lot to take in. And it's fun.
Pretty.
Okay, we're going to take a fervent break. And then we'll continue. Enjoy. This is an appropriate fervent break for now.
Okay, you get a drink.
Yo, it's your favorite cops back with another banger. Now sing after us. We're gon' pin it on the girl. We're gon' pin it on the girl. We're gon' pin it on the girl. We're gon' pin it on the girl.
Well, my name's Trooper Proctor and I have an idea. Let's take this broken tail light and sprinkle it here. They won't even suspect that it was me, cause I won't even be at the scene. Well, my name is Trooper Tully and I take it from here. Got the CERT team already there. They won't suspect that I'm a crook, cause I'll tell them exactly where to look.
We're gon' pin it on the girl. We're gon' pin it on the girl. We're gon' pin it on the girl. We're gon' pin it on the girl.
Yeah, my name's Berkey, here from the grave. I remember very clearly it was a rainy day when I looked out the window and I said, hey. There was a big piece of plastic on the yard. I said, oh my golly, that looks sharp. And I'll admit that I don't have the best vision, but this piece was as big as a television. Yeah, my name's Proctor, I'll save your ass, no matter what question Jackson asks. Mr. Jackson, think you can outwit me? Oh shit, remind me. What's a theory? Well, my name's Morrissey, and I got a treat. I'ma show you how to auto-delete every 30 days, and we're in the clear. Wait, what's the cloud? Oh, dear.
We gon' pin it on the girl. We gon' pin it on the girl.
That's right.
We gon' pin it on the girl. We gon' pin it on the girl.
Yeah, yeah.
We might send you a nude. Our group chats are the best. If that's not good for you, we might send you a racist tag.
Corrupt County Records for all the no-ass bitches.
We be busting taillight in the cannon Sally port, drinking out a solo solo cups up in the Sally port. Reviewing grainy footage up in the Sally port. Keep my shopping bags up in the Sally port. Pauly G said they hold liquid terrifically. There must be a reason he made 300 G's. Said it would be over if she just copped the plea. Now it's a whole episode and we're on season 3. Yeah, we're talking Karen Reed, and even though she's free, she can't get rid of these goddamn O'Keefes. Cause how can Paul get laid if there ain't a trial 3? We be busting taillight in the Cannon Sally port. Drinking out of solo cups up in the Sally port. Reviewing grainy footage up in the Sally port. Keep my shopping bags up in the Sally port. Organics dancing drunk, getting lit to Creed. Tully's still in Cali, interviewing Natalie. Proctor's lost his job, calling up Morrissey. Wonder when and what went wrong with his auto delete. Hey Proctor, I got a question for you. Who's the whack job cutting out? Now get your leaky balloon out in the unemployment line. We be busting taillight in the Cannon Sally port. Drinking out of solo cups up in the Sally port. Reviewing grainy footage up in the Sally port. Keep my shopping bags up in the Sally port.
Oh my God, it's a balloon knot.
I'm sorry, shouldn't have done that.
I was not expecting that. I was expecting an axolotl. Oh my goodness.
Sorry.
Don't be sorry, you're learning, you're getting it. Okay. We're going to get into one of Alan Jackson's classic lines now. It felt like a good segue from Proctor and AJ to that. But before we do, I need to set the scene. This is a pre-trial hearing. Oh, I haven't really introduced Hank to you yet, have I?
No, who's Hank? The only Hank I know is Hill. Wait a second. I remember you saying something about a Hank before.
Okay, so Hank Brennan is, because we haven't watched a ton of, I feel like most of what we've been watching is from the first trial with Lally, who says, objection. But now in the retrial, Hank Brennan is the prosecutor. And Hank Brennan is a special prosecutor brought in for this moment. And
oh, that guy. Yes. Okay. Now I know who you're talking about. We've talked about that a little bit.
yes, he gets paid all my taxes, and he comes in. He has this like grandstanding moment where he's like, I'm just here to follow the evidence. And sorry, Brennan. And he misspells his name on like everything. Just side note, also his paralegal can't spell for shit like at all in general. So he comes in and is basically like, you know, if she's innocent, like the evidence will show us that, and we're going to follow the evidence. I'm going to do a full investigation from the very beginning, and then just get so like, you'll see. So this that we're about to watch is a pre-trial hearing. So this is like intro to Hank, where we're all just getting to know what we're up against. And this felt very fitting for tonight because in the most recent FOIA dump, we got a copy of Michael Easter's report. Michael Easter is a former FBI agent who was going to testify for the defense about what like an investigation is supposed to look like. So basically he was going to counter what Proctor just told us. And he was basically going to take the stand and be like, hi, I'm an experienced FBI agent. Like, that's not how we do investigations. Like, you don't make up your mind in 16 hours after not visiting the scene, blah, blah, blah. And this hearing is to decide if Michael Easter should be allowed to testify. Spoiler alert, he does not end up being allowed to testify. But before we get into AJ's best response to Hank, we need to hear a 1 second line from Hank that just cracks me up. Enjoy.
I'm not whining.
I'm not whining.
I'm not whining.
I'm not whining. Spoiler alert, he's always whining. All he does is whine.
That's his voice, yes.
I'm not whining.
I'm not whining.
He has the
Should I
worst
put my
voice.
Should I put my glasses on now that we're getting into Hank? Yes. Okay. So what we're going to hear after we listen to I'm Not Whining like 16 more times is Hank's argument for why Michael Easter should not be allowed to testify, and then Alan Jackson's response.
I'm not whining.
I'm not whining. And then we do need to just do an entire night on Hank, because the amount of just self-owns that Hank does. And then you'll understand all my parody videos.
It's like Guzman.
Okay. You'll find out. Okay, here we go.
Agent who did CAST, he did the CLSI. He may have been in hundreds of cases. I'd like to know what cases he's come into court and given his subjective opinion about how he feels an investigation was done. Not a report, not an assignment, but as an expert witness in Bowdoin. How many cases has he gone into court and testified, been allowed to testify about his personal opinion? His experience in the FBI is different than Canton Police Department and the state police. This is just Monday morning quarterbacking, and it's an attempt to bolster argument by counsel so that they can use some type of opinion to lean on when they're arguing to the jury they should have because of the police investigation. I don't see any recognition under 702 or in law where somebody can come in and subjectively give their opinions. If there is a state police protocol that wasn't followed, then the defense can see if that state police protocol is appropriate. If they're speaking to a state police officer, question them about it and ask them if they did it and why. If this person comes in and gives opinions, there'll be a slew of opinions that are shot like a shotgun approach that we'll never be able to have an opportunity to explain. Are we going to call in the Canton Police Department again and call in the state police for a second round so they can explain why they chose certain actions that Mr. Easter is criticizing? I don't think this is an appropriate ground for an expert witness. I don't see any cases, I've looked through the state and federal court, that allow an expert to come in on a Bowdoin defense and give their subjective opinion about an investigation they weren't involved with. I don't know that this witness has ever been qualified as a Bowdoin type witness in any court. He may have testified, but about what? And so I think this is a very dangerous proposition. What if the Commonwealth wants to counter and bring in a state police officer to say that the investigation was fantastic, that everybody did a remarkable job under the circumstances? What if we bring in a witness to talk about the fact that the evidence is so overwhelming that it should imply a certain finding by the jury? This invites that. This invites a debate between people's personal opinions. That's done outside of the courtroom, not in a courtroom. We will never have an opportunity to be able to have all the witnesses come back to explain what this witness subjectively thinks is a deficiency. I don't think it's appropriate for expert witness testimony. This is argument by counsel.
You know, very briefly, I gently disagree with Mr. Brennan. He indicates that we will use an expert to bolster our argument. There's another word for that, or another phrase for that. It's called presenting a defense for someone charged with murder. He indicates, well, what are we going to do? This guy's going to get up there and testify. What am I supposed to do? Call a bunch of other Canton PD officers to talk about how great their investigative techniques were? Yeah, there's another word for that. It's called rebuttal. That's what you're supposed to do. And then he says, well, hang on.
You wouldn't be objecting if they called somebody in rebuttal to...
Wait, I need to go back just a tiny bit, and I need you to watch Karen's brother throughout this exchange. So basically, Hank is saying, well, they want to bring in They want to bring in an FBI agent to say that we didn't do it. They didn't do a good investigation. Well, what if we bring in a police officer to say this was the best investigation ever?
That's how experts work.
And that's
Negative
what
techniques
AJ's going to
and
remind
protocols.
them.
As the court noted, or as I just noted to the court, he was an FBI special agent for more than 20 years. He formally coordinated with multi-agency investigative gang task forces in Los Angeles. He worked with multiple agencies responding to dozens of crime scenes, including shootings, stabbings, abductions, child abductions, both domestically and internationally. He was the lead case agent who oversaw arrests and indictments. He received awards and recognitions for his work with the FBI, as well as with state agencies in which he was a task force member. For 11 years, he primarily assisted homicide detectives from LAPD, the Los Angeles Sheriff's Department, and the Los Angeles District Attorney, numerous other agencies as well, state and local agencies, with investigations and prosecution of thousands and thousands of homicides, robberies, kidnappings, other violent crimes. His work and assistance on investigations in LA and across the United States and ultimately internationally has been noted by not only the FBI, but those agencies as well. Just a few of Mr. Easter's experiences and involvements in some of the domestic and international cases include the 2015 San Bernardino mass shooting.
So are these all on his CV that you're going to give me a copy of?
Everything, I believe, all.
I don't need you time again of the restraint. If you're going to give me a copy of the CV, I can read it. You don't need to recite it.
It's either what I was reciting is either in the CD or in his report. One
Okay,
or
so
the other.
that's what I need. That would be much more helpful to me.
Then I don't know what more the court would like from
So
me. Do
I
you have
wanted to know specifically what you intend to have him testify on, but if it's in his report.
It's in his, it broadly is in his report. I don't know exactly every question I'm going to ask him, but I can tell the court in broad brushstrokes. Obviously, we're going to ask him, we've already asked him to review. He's reviewed NOD 1 through 59. We're going to give him the additional NODs that we've got as well. He's going to review everything. And from that, he's going to, I expect, render an opinion about whether or not the investigation followed standards and training, best case practices for an investigative
So I guess
technique.
that's my question. So without seeing the report, where are their standards and best practices? Is that something that somebody can turn to and see codification of it? Or is
So-
it just his experience?
No, it's not just his experience. Those standards and practices are oftentimes reduced to writing. They have been reduced to writing with the Massachusetts State Police. So he's reviewed the protocols that are in place for the MSP.
Okay.
He's very familiar with FBI's protocols for investigative techniques and investigative protocols. He'll utilize those skills and that knowledge base to assess his opinion or to render an opinion and a conclusion concerning what he believes are the proper protocols.
Sorry, wait. Did I mess up that part before? Hold on.
Agent who did CAST, he did the CLSI. He may have been in
years. He primarily assisted homicide.
So do you have
Where did it do
that
it?
the jury can then digest, like information in data records, information that the jury can then.
So do you have a report and CV and all that? Like,
A person qualified by knowledge, skill, experience, training, or education, specifically as it pertains to somebody with the expertise in a field like crime scene investigations and investigative protocols.
Wait. Sorry. I didn't mean to do that. Hold
Not
on.
whining.
Can we just watch that again? Hold on. I messed that up. I thought I had it like exactly queued up and then I didn't. Hold, please.
Speaking of wine, I was eating cheese.
Hmm?
Speaking of wine, I was eating cheese. And I like to say that so chat knows I don't like have a sugar only diet.
What kind of cheese are you eating?
Cheddar. Have you heard of poulet cheese?
What?
Poulet, Pule. It comes from it's a very rare cheese. It comes from Serbia. It's 60% donkey milk.
Is it good?
It's about $20,000 for a quarter pound.
Have you had it?
Do I look like I've had $20,000 worth of cheese?
I don't
Well,
know.
yeah,
It makes me.
but it'd be like government cheese, you know?
Okay, wait. Sorry. I'm sorry, everybody. Welcome to the inside of my brain.
Like, no. So 60% donkey milk, the rest is goat milk. They're semi-wild donkeys that feed off of a diet of over 100 different wild indigenous plants. Gives the real earthy, nutty flavor to the cheese.
I like a nutty cheese.
You know, it's they always get described that way.
I don't think it's appropriate for expert witness
Okay.
testimony. This is argument by counsel.
Your Honor, very briefly, I gently disagree with Mr. Brennan. He indicates that we want to use an expert to bolster our argument. There's another word for that, or another phrase for that. It's called presenting a defense for someone charged with murder. He indicates, well, what are we going to do? This guy's going to get up there and testify. What am I supposed to do? Call a bunch of other Canton PD officers to talk about how great their investigative techniques were? Yeah, there's another word for that. It's called rebuttal. That's what you're supposed to do. And then he says, well,
you wouldn't
hang on.
be objecting if they called somebody in rebuttal to reinforce a great investigation?
Oh, no. Mr. Brennan said, what if I called a Massachusetts State Police officer to say that this was the best investigation ever? I have two words. Do it. Do it. I'd love that. I'd love a shot at that.
So I said, let's not keep, take personal.
That's not an invective. That's a personal shot at Mr. Brennan. I'm just saying, do it. You want to call in another expert? That's a classic battle of the experts. That's fine. I'll put Mike Easter any expert they want to call. But the reality is, Your Honor, we're entitled to present a defense. And part of that defense, the Bowden defense, is the adequacy of the investigation. And there's no question that a proper homicide investigation is not something within.
I don't know. So if you can give me a case site for that, all right? That
what
expert test.
What do you think is happening in Alan Jackson's head right there? If you can give me a case
Is this real
site,
life? That's why.
Yeah.
You ever see that?
She ends up not allowing him. She doesn't allow Mike Easter to testify. Like, this should be an obvious, like, oh,
Her background is a defense attorney, a public defender. She was supposedly the governor. One of the things he liked about her was the fact that she was a defense attorney. So there wasn't enough of those types of judges on the bench.
Yeah, but then think about that. She was a public defender. Think about who she's defending and kind of like how she views like justice. And then Alan Jackson is this super high paid Hollywood attorney.
Oh yeah, they hate these
coming
guys.
in from he's flying in from California. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not that she doesn't like the idea of a defense. It's that she doesn't like that he's all Hollywood.
100% facts. What you just said. That is 100% how it works.
Her reason for not allowing Mike Easter or Mike Easter is that is that she said, well, the jury will already know what the police were supposed to do. And like, yes, like jurors should know that like Michael Proctor shouldn't have been drinking and driving in his cruiser. But the first jury got it so like at this moment in time, transporting ourselves back to this pretrial hearing, like we all had the worst like PTSD from the first trial. Like we had no faith in any of our like fellow citizens to get it right as a juror.
No, jurors are stupid. That's the whole point of it. They don't know
like,
anything.
The first jury, only one juror ended up like speaking out that we like got to hear from. And it was this guy, Ronnie, who was basically like, yeah, like everything was like so distracting during the trial. We like didn't know what to focus on. So we just decided like John was there and Karen was there. So she did it. So we all had PTSD from that. So for in this moment for Bev to be saying,
scary,
well, the
isn't it?
jury will all just like know that the police investigation was a problem. Everybody was just like losing it.
Beverly needs to get a bunch of lemon pound cakes to the courthouse.
Okay, that was our palate cleanse. The rest of this is also a palate cleanse. This, I would like to introduce you to Dr. Andrew Rentschler.
No,
And-
that's Beavis.
We love him though. We love him. Wait,
today.
actually, hold on. I queued up. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. No. I wanted to watch that part, but I remembered one other part I want to watch first. So again, everybody hold, please.
Lord J, associate bow ties with stupid people.
This guy,
I think they're cool. I mean, I really do.
The juror Ronnie, the only one who spoke out, he
Or bow tie.
he wore a bow tie like every day. Okay. First we're gonna go to 4302.
Like, is there, if you can pull
my
off
God.
a bow tie,
You can't
it's
hear
really
this,
cool.
but I had 3 windows open of Rentschler and they were all playing different parts of his testimony. Okay. I'm gonna lose my mind in a second.
That is how you
43.
fry your brain very quickly.
That was actually crazy. Okay, so this is Dr. Rentschler. He works for ARCA. ARCA, we talked about when we were talking about the Commonwealth's theory of how John got hit by a car. We like touched on this briefly, basically, but let me sum it up for you. When the feds started an investigation into the investigation of this, which we can talk about another day, the feds, the FBI, hired ARCA, which are the best engineers in our country. These are the men and women that are hired to like redesign the tanks that soldiers are driving in war to make it so that if they drive over a landmine, it absorbs the impact and it saves lives. They were hired by the NHL to redesign the helmets of hockey players so that they weren't getting concussions. Like, these are the best of the best, the smartest of the smart. We call them the crash daddies. And there's 2 of them. The other one is hotter, but we're not watching him tonight. And I know that's what you care about. And Dr. Wolf's job was to analyze the car and if a car, like what the impact of a car hitting a person would be. And then Dr. Rentschler, who we're about to see, his job was to look at the body and see like what the injuries would be at different speeds. They combined their reports. They worked together. They both concluded there's absolutely no way that John O'Keefe got hit by a car or a car hit John O'Keefe. They did a bunch of testing, blah, blah, blah. They redesigned the glass so that when hockey players got checked into the glass, they didn't get hurt.
Well, that's kind of their buzzkill.
Well, and they're just like good guys. And side note of, they were like, so Dr. Wolf, actually, we're not even gonna get into this right now. Okay, here we go. We're gonna watch Dr. Rentschler. And this first moment is this just like very sweet man trying to just be a good guy. And Bev just loses her mind.
Sure. Was there an example that you could use of
looks like Gosling.
real world example that you might want to use to explain some or part of the scientific method?
There is, yeah, and I would like to explain an example of what's important with that. So I was going to say I have 3 kids. a 9-year-old who's actually turning 10 today. Happy birthday, Kai. And I have 2 older ones.
All right. We're gonna stop this. Another example.
Go ahead. Less editorializing.
Minus all the personal.
I'm sorry, Your Honor.
Go ahead.
Minus all the personal. Happy birthday, Kai. Kai's birthday's coming up. Oh, he'll be 11. Happy birthday, Kai.
What was
Bev's
the
not
question
like that.
Alan Jackson asked him?
Is there a real world example that you want to use to tell us this? And basically, you know what's going through this guy's head right now. He woke up in Boston today because he has to testify at this ridiculous trial that he already testified at last year. And he already knows this man's not hit by a car. He's like, this is ridiculous. I'm missing my son's birthday for this. And then he's like, you know what will be really cool? Like, I'll just slip in really quick, like one line that's just like he was probably just gonna tell us, oh,
Yeah.
my kids play with this and this happens. I forget what the actual question was, but and I just want to say happy birthday, Kai. And so anyways, and Bev just without all the personal stuff. So yeah, there's that. Now to the really important stuff. So like I just said, Dr. Rentschler and Dr. Wolf testified in the first trial. And the prosecution took Hank takes a very odd approach to them going into the retrial. And I say odd because they're too smart and right for him to criticize any of their actual work that they did. He can't really poke holes in any of their testing. They didn't do anything wrong. They also were, up until the trial, they were, like I said, hired by the Fed. So they weren't like a defense witness or a prosecution witness going into this. They were actually offered up to both sides. The prosecution obviously was like, well, we're not going to take these 2 really smart guys who don't think that John got hit by a car. So they end up being defense witnesses. And when a witness is going to testify, they have to talk to the team to coordinate, right? And they have to say what day should I be there and all this stuff. Hank ends up trying to paint a picture that these 2 men are in cahoots with the defense, or that they're just saying that John wasn't hit by a car because they're being paid by the defense, or they have this relationship with the defense team. At one point he tries to say because they use Signal for messaging, they must be corrupt. So that's what we're getting
Hank says all this?
Hank says all this.
You said?
And,
okay.
Yeah. And what we're getting into now is that after the...
Do I need to get a Signal account? Sorry.
No, I don't have Signal. It turns out, actually, one thing
I don't answer my messages, so...
Well, one thing for anybody who thinks that they're using Signal as an encrypted app, it turns out we've learned from Aiden's phone extraction leak, whatever, that if you have Signal, you need to turn off the notifications, because if it pops up as a notification on your phone that you got a Signal message, then it also shows up in your extraction. So it's actually not encrypted. So if you're going to use Signal, turn off your notifications. Life lesson. Okay, so here we go. Just enjoy. Oh, I did that wrong. Nope. Hold on. Okay.
No, I don't think so, because there was no need to, because it was independent.
When you had conversations with the defense, did they offer to give you transportation assistance getting here?
They provided a ride to and from the airport, yes.
And did you tell the defense that you prefer to take an Uber so that it would appear independent to a jury?
No, because I didn't take an Uber. I took the ride. If I wanted to appear independent, then I would have taken an Uber.
You had a conversation about it, that you were thinking about taking an Uber.
It didn't even cross my mind, sir.
And then after you testified, did you stay independent?
Also, just to be clear, this is what you expected them to be talking about, right? Like, this is a man who did like extensive testing to see about what the impact of a Lexus on a human body would be. You would think that they would be talking about how he arrived at court, right?
Yeah. Okay. I'm hoping I get the answers.
Didn't even cross my mind, sir.
And then after you testified, did you stay independent?
What do you mean independent?
Did you have any bias in what you did?
Any bias?
Bias, yes.
What do you mean? Did I have any bias?
Well, after you testified, where did you go?
Well, I was waiting for my ride, and to get back to the airport, they had to take other people. And so they were having a lunch afterwards, and they said, come have a sandwich, and then your ride will take you to the airport. So I went, and I had a ham sandwich.
You had a ham sandwich. Did you testify at some point that after you had something to eat, you just stood in the corner?
I did. I sat at a table, ate, and then went over and literally stood in the corner waiting for my ride.
When you sat at the table and eat, did you just eat your ham sandwich? Or did more go on?
I ate. People were talking. I really didn't talk much at all.
Did you listen?
Certainly, I'm sure I did, sir.
Did you laugh a lot?
I assume if something funny was said, I probably laughed.
Did you talk about your testimony?
This is coming.
At this point, I don't even remember.
Let me look at something. When you were there at the luncheon, did you see a camera crew
I believe I did, yes, sir.
filming and documenting?
Also, do you guys know who the camera crew was? It was that documentarian who like turned on Karen. We see in the most recent Foya dump, it was, what's her name? Oh my God, I can't think of her name right now. But she, the prosecution asks her for like all of her footage, and she like sends them timestamps. She's like, you might want to see this, and points out this moment. What is her name? Like, not Pat, but like something like that. Anyways, okay.
Right?
There were a lot of cameras, yes.
You know that you might have been on some of that footage?
Terry.
That's fine. I
That
could
was
care
like
less.
Pat, right?
So do you think maybe you were talking about the case and your answers and laughing it up a little bit?
I have no idea. Possibly.
You were involved in conversations with the defense attorneys, were you?
What do you mean conversation, sir? I had just gotten done testifying. I was having lunch. Whatever was spoken about at the table, I'm sure I heard.
You know what a conversation is when someone speaks to you and you answer.
Sure.
Did you have
It's over 22 seconds.
Sir, I can't remember conversations I had last week, let alone a year ago. So I probably did, but I have no clue what we would have talked about.
Remember accolades you might have been receiving because you had given certain answers to the then prosecutor on the case and laughing about the answers?
I have no idea. I can't remember last week what I had for lunch last Tuesday. How would I remember a conversation from over a year ago?
You remember when you were having conversations with some of these folks and you were laughing about when the prosecutor asked you about other evidence like DNA? You had a response to all the physics doesn't change. Remember?
I don't specifically remember that, no, sir.
How long were you at the table eating your ham sandwich with the folks there enjoying the event? How long?
Time's not real there.
I honestly don't know. 10 minutes. How long does it take you to eat a ham sandwich? 10 minutes?
And after you finished your ham sandwich and then you told us you stood in the corner, you got a ride back to the airport?
I did, yes, sir.
Yeah. After you got back to the airport, ultimately your company.
Okay. Next, to fully embrace the like lore of all of this, we need to watch Aiden watching this.
Hey, real quick, before I forget, I do remember part of the homework assignment was Deaver was the Beverly Cornholio. I see these are my words. said, you need to go ahead and answer that because whatever it was, the question, she said, well, I know now from watching the media that it was blah, blah, blah. And when Bev says, you have to answer this, she stops and pouts, and I counted it. And I think it was 22 seconds, or it might have been 21 seconds. So it may have just fallen underneath what a conversation takes before she could answer a question. I don't know even what it was about, but I remember that. There you go.
And then she finally says, she finally says, there were cameras in the Sally port. And it's like,
yeah. Did you watch that? No, wait a second. You've seen this. Your memory's much better than mine. Yes. Yes. Well, I remember that part, and I just didn't remember what the answer was. I was so dumbfounded by counting.
Yeah. Okay, ready? This is Aiden watching this.
For my ride, and to get back to the airport, they had to take other people, and so they were having a lunch afterwards, and they said, come have a sandwich, and then your ride will take you to the airport. So I went, and I had a ham sandwich.
Did you testify at some point that after you had something to eat, you just stood in the corner?
I did. I just sat at a table 8 and then went over and literally stood in the corner waiting for my ride.
When you sat at the table and eat, did you just eat your ham sandwich? Or did more go on?
I ate. People were talking. I really didn't talk much at all.
Did you listen?
Certainly, I'm sure I did. So. I assume if something funny was said, I probably laughed.
Did you talk about the testimony?
At this point, I don't even remember.
Did you stay independent?
Oh, I can't. This is my first time hearing this. Oh my God. How embarrassing. Lally never did anything like this. Oh my God. That is the funniest thing I've ever heard. Wow. Did they teach that one in law school?
And then one more just to bring it home. Here's me being Rentschler. Enjoy. Real world example that can help explain the scientific method. So I have 3 kids, a 9-year-old who's actually turning 10 today. Happy birthday, Kai. And something that, all right, we're gonna stop. This is ridiculous. Dr. Rentschler, facts matter, don't they? They do, yes, sir. Said that many, many times. Facts matter. Isn't that correct? It was actually details matter, but facts matter too, yes, sir. Details matter. Yes, that's what I just said. Last year, after you testified, where did you go? Well, I was waiting for my ride to get back to the airport, but they had to take other people, and they were having a lunch afterwards. So they said, come have a sandwich, and then your ride will take you to the airport. So I went, and I had a ham sandwich. You had a ham sandwich? When you ate your ham sandwich, did you just sit at the table and ate your ham sandwich? Or did more go on? I ate. People were talking. I didn't really talk much. Did you listen? Certainly, I'm sure I did, sir. Did you laugh a lot? I assume if something funny was said, I probably laughed. Let me alert you to something. When you were there at lunch, did you see a camera crew filming and documenting? And you might have been on some of that footage, involved in conversations and laughing it up a bit. What do you mean conversations? I had just gotten done testifying. I was eating lunch. I'm sure whatever was spoken about at the table, I heard. You know what a conversation is. When someone speaks, you answer. Sure. Do you remember accolades you might have been receiving because you had given certain answers to Adam Lally and laughing about those answers? And how long were you at the table eating your ham sandwich? I honestly don't know. How long does it take to eat a ham sandwich? 10 minutes?
So many questions. Does it take longer to eat a ham sandwich than it does other sandwiches? Is time the same in Canton when you eat a ham sandwich as it is, say, in Truth or Consequences, New Mexico? Which is an appropriate name of a town, a real name of a town, and it's appropriate for this.
I think like life lesson. Never, ever, if you are going to testify in court, do not ever eat a ham sandwich. Don't laugh, don't talk, don't listen. Because those are the important things. Because we're going to watch one more thing that Rentschler had to say, because this is what Hank was really trying to avoid.
Well, we conducted a number of tests.
Oh, by the way, this is Randy. We love Randy.
Randy.
So remember when we saw Judd Welcher and he painted his arm blue?
Yeah.
And then he walked into a car going 2 miles an hour. Well,
Yeah, because he
Arca
did not want to be hit by 20-something.
yeah. So Arca understood that there's a such thing as crash test dummies, and they used
What?
them, and they tested out the crash test dummies at a bunch of different speeds. They recorded them all. They documented the injuries. Yeah. So this right here is why Hank wanted to spend so much time talking about Ubers and ham sandwiches, because he did not want Dr. Rentschler to say
Now you look
this.
somewhat different, sure.
If you conducted this test and moved the arm angle, not another test, this test, but you moved the arm angle, do you expect that the brake would look different?
That the brake would look different?
Yes.
It could look a little different. I mean, certainly the brakes looked a little different in the test, but they were comparable to each other.
You do not know how John O'Keefe was standing that night, do you?
Well,
or if he was.
No, I'm going to allow that.
You do not know how John O'Keefe was standing that night, do you?
If he was standing, if the impact occurred, then no.
Oh,
Nobody
yeah.
knows how he would have been standing.
You would not know what his arm angle was, would you?
No.
You would not know the exact speed of any vehicle that hit him that night, would you?
Assisting.
The debris, the broken taillight, is that traveling in a consistent or a different direction?
What do you mean consistent or
Is
different?
it all going in the same direction or is it going in different directions?
No, there's some spread to the debris.
So the pieces don't all fall right in a pile with each other, do they?
They do not, no.
Continue, please. Stop. Do the majority of the pieces land on Randy?
No, they do not.
And so as they fall, if Randy were to fall, many of those pieces would not be among the immediate area of his body, would they?
If the dummy fell right there, no, they would not.
Now, the dummy can't fall because the dummy is on a forklift, correct?
It's suspended like a pendulum, correct?
And you see in your test that the taillight, at what you say is 24 miles per hour, can be broken without the dummy's knees touching the vehicle. Isn't that fair to say?
That's correct, yes.
I feel the same way
You
about
can't
all
tell
of this.
the full movement and fall of this dummy the way you've set up this test, can you?
Well, knowing the physics, you can certainly determine or estimate where it would be, but no, you could release it and it would fall primarily straight down. It would twist and it would fall down.
Is there something that could affect the dummy if you let it fall? Is there something that could affect its movement after being hit?
Like what?
Like, could its feet be twisted and then hit another object like a curb?
Well, there's going to be very little lateral movement of its feet, but even if it did, then it's still going to fall over right where it is.
Can you continue, please? Can you see the feet, doctor?
Yes.
Are they twisting?
They are, yes.
Is that because of the rotation of Randy after he struck?
Yeah, that's the rotation of Randy. And again, as you said, that's not a normal person because there's no normal force acting on the dummy. We just have it barely touching. So a normal individual, you aren't going to twist to that extent because this is a dummy which is suspended with just a little contact on the
And
ground.
after being
Wait, so are
contacted
those the
by
exact jeans
the
he was
vehicle
wearing?
to break the light, could it cause a person to?
No. Because Arca's
Oh
not
my
weird.
gosh! Well,
He's
I'd
not
like
wearing
to
the
do this
underwear.
He's not. Oh my gosh, Randy!
Also,
Don't be a dummy. Take this serious.
On Twitter, they love this because they're like, look, that's exactly what would have happened, blah blah. And it's like, you think John O'Keefe's foot got run over and it did not break a single bone in his foot? Okay.
I mean, you're making some suppositions here. There's no evidence that that would occur in this case, and not if you're spinning like that. You're not going to stagger backwards. First, you're going to spin if you get hit with your arm, as I described in my direct. But is it possible? I can't say it's impossible, but there's no evidence of that.
Could a person stumble backwards after being hit?
I'm going to allow that.
What do you mean by backwards? Because you'd be spinning. So what direction is backwards?
Could a person get their foot caught on a curb, sneaker come off, and then stagger backwards and fall on their head?
He just laughed at him.
I'm going to allow that.
Doctor?
Can you answer that?
I guess you could somehow predict or have a possibility of almost anything happening. You could say someone could get hit by a car and do a couple of somersaults into the yard. I mean, there's no evidence of that. So it's just supposition, but I won't say it's impossible.
You think John O'Keefe did somersaults in the top yard 34 years ago? Is that what you're telling us?
No, I don't think he even got hit by the car, sir.
That's not what I'm asking. I've heard that. I'm asking you.
Yeah.
Who did somersaults in the top yard?
No, there's no evidence of what he did.
You want us to come sidebar quickly? Be aware of the
Okay.
Could I have exhibit 166, please? Did you see this photograph, sir?
I did, yes.
And do you see the cut on Mr. O'Keefe's nose, the left side of his nostril?
I do.
In your analysis of whether there was a collision with the defendant's Lexus, did you consider or know that there was evidence that a piece of glass or a piece of broken plastic was pulled from Mr. O'Keefe's nose?
I'm going to allow that. I'm going to allow that. So, hold on. Let's get an answer, Dr. Mitchell. Your objection's noted, Mr. Jackson.
I was aware there was some piece of material allegedly pulled from the nose, yes.
Allegedly pulled from the nose?
Yes.
Okay. And that alleged piece of material, were you aware that it was perhaps a piece of glass or broken plastic?
Are you aware of that? So, hold on, Mr. Jackson. Mr. Brennan.
I can reword it.
Okay.
You're welcome. Are you aware of that object that was pulled from Mr. O'Keefe's nose? What material that was?
I believe it was glass.
Did you want to know in your assessment about collision where that came from?
Well, I did evaluate that, and it's actually entirely inconsistent with coming from an impact with the vehicle.
Can we have exhibit 52A, please? Do you know what that is, doctor?
It's hard for me to see from here. I believe that's the drinking glass.
A drinking glass. Do you know where that is in relation to where Mr. O'Keefe was found?
I believe it was found in the vicinity of where he was found.
And can I have exhibit 195, please? You recognize that?
That is another photograph of the drinking glass, yes, sir.
197A, please. And in your assessment, did you know that a piece of glass that fit the broken drinking glass was found in the street area in front of 34 Fairview Road?
Yes, sir.
98, please. A little more, please. Do you know what that is, sir?
It's hard for me to tell from
Does it
back.
look like a drinking straw?
Okay, the black, that does appear to be a drinking straw, yes.
Have you seen that before?
Where would that be?
We need to be very clear about this. And yes, these sidebars we do have. I don't remember for sure, but I'm posting everything very soon. This straw, they claim that this straw was found on February 3rd. So John O'Keefe was killed on January 29th. This was found on February 3rd after a snowstorm where plows have been going up and down the street, up and down the street, up and down the street. And they want us to believe, like, this straw alone is all I would need to be like, oh, everybody's lying. They want us to believe that this random piece of trash is.
Yeah, that's what I was
the
going to ask that.
smoking
When
gun.
is trash pickup? Because stuff falls out all the time.
It's not even like.
And I live in Tennessee. A lot of people got stuff in the back of their pickup trucks, and you see that stuff fly out all over the place.
But they're
It's
like,
a double yellow
oh
line road. What's the speed limit in front of their house? Do you
it's
know
like
that?
probably 35. It's like a side road. It's probably 25 or 30.
So people do like 50.
My theory is, like, in like kids mystery books where they'll be like, oh my goodness, like, we found the pen that, like, the coach was using, and we know that they were here to steal the plays, and we figured out the mystery because of this pen. I feel like that's what Proctor was doing, and he was like, if there's a straw, like, we'll just say it was John's straw, and we'll know that he was here. And here, like, none of it makes any sense.
And of course,
anyways,
I'm
they
assuming
found-
there's no DNA on there.
I can never remember if they tested it.
Of course they did. And not.
But
where would the straw come from?
well, so
Like nobody has little swizzle sticks.
No. This is why it's funny. There's the video of John and Karen leaving the waterfall, and I think at that point Karen is holding the drink with the straw, and then she says that John took her vodka soda and it had the straw in it or whatever. I don't even know how. Somehow
She stole it.
Or maybe the Alberts were cleaning their house on February 3rd and they realized that John's straw was still there. So they quickly threw it outside and called their buddies at the police department. That is the only other explanation.
When you're using a shop vac, those will get stuck on the end and not go down the tube.
And maybe,
You can find those.
yeah, and that's why it's all.
And you'd be using a shop vac because you use bleach on the floor.
I mean, that sounds a lot more plausible to me than a straw staying put right in its spot in the road. I can't. We're at pavement there. That means that the plows have gone back and forth and back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. That is the only way that they could have gotten down to pavement. You saw the video of them with the CERT team that night. There was a foot of snow covering everything. If we're down to pavement, that means the plow came. I'm like so mad about this. Like, the more I think about that freaking straw, the more it makes me mad. Carrie Brunson, something you need to know about me is I don't know who Tommy Wiseau is.
Yeah, I don't either, but yeah.
And it's not you, Carrie Brunson. Thank you for the $5. It is me. I don't know a single actor, a single movie, or a single anything.
Carrie, it's so frustrating when I try to say something about it. I'm like, oh yeah, you don't know what I'm talking about. Oh, listen to her do the whine. She's like, she made me whine. Oh.
But wait, I know the book, The Room. Is The Room the movie based on the book? Because I read the book.
There's a book about a room.
It's like, oh my gosh. There's a woman who's kidnapped and and she ends up having the baby of her kidnapper, and then she has to
It happened in California.
oh my god, it like I can't even. It's a good book.
What is? When did The Room come out?
I don't know because I didn't know it was a movie, but I can picture the cover of the it's like a white cover with like kind of crayon-y looking colorful words. So if you ever want me to know the plot of something, I know the plot from the book, but I didn't know.
Did you ever read the book Fight Club? Because that's a good movie.
No, but that's another movie that I never saw, but I tell people that I did because I feel like I know like the viral, like I know the first rule of Fight Club. Yeah, exactly. Like I know the point.
Yeah. Let me ask you this. If you could fight any one celebrity at any point in time, who would that be?
You think I would fight somebody?
What is the point of the
I
movie?
watched,
Like,
so Samantha Beningo last night did like an amazing live about like what actually happened, and she was showing a bunch of videos of fights and how quickly they happened, and she was like demonstrating punches, and I don't know why I never thought of it. Like the thought of punching somebody is like, well, I don't understand why anybody would ever do that.
it's very violent.
It's like crazy. Like I can't wrap my head. But if I had to fight a celebrity, I don't even know any
William
celebrities. What?
William
If I had to
Shatner.
I don't know. Was he in Star Trek? I don't even know who that is.
Blocked me on Twitter.
Is that Star Trek?
Yeah, he blocked me on
That's
Twitter.
right.
I'd fight him.
William Shatner
No, it's actually
blocked you on Twitter.
Yeah, he doesn't have a good sense of humor, but he does do his own tweets.
I don't know. I had a pair of hoop earrings once. Every time I put them on, I was like, this is not me. I'll think about who I would fight. Okay.
You'd fight Genghis Khan.
Genghis Khan.
You know who Genghis Khan was? Like took over all of Asia
I know who. Wasn't that a long time ago?
because they brought him a peanut butter sandwich. But he wanted a ham sandwich. Started the whole conquering. They invented cheese.
If only Jen McCabe was there.
She might have been.
Okay, we're gonna go to Dr. La Posada now for a new palate cleanse after the straw because, like, my God, something you. Oh wait,
Do you have a
should we do
PO
quick
box yet?
fervent
Because I'm
break?
going to send you some cocktail straws.
No, but I'll just tell you my address. Here, we're gonna do a quick fervent break, and then we're gonna watch Dr. La Posada, and then we're gonna go to bed. Okay, we're gonna do a hanky break because, and to be clear, Hank did redeem himself. I can't with Luna. Hank did redeem himself a little bit in the Lucy Medina trial. I just wanted to throw that out there.
Do I know
Just
Lucy
for Hank's
Medina?
mental health. No, you don't need to. It's fine. We're gonna watch the Hank fervent Hank video, and then we're gonna watch Dr. La Posada, and then we're gonna go to bed because I just realized it's 12:15 and I got tired.
Oh.
Enjoy.
Today we say a prayer for Adam Lally, the once mediocre prosecutor who stayed mediocre. May the Lord hear our prayer. In the words of Auntie Bell, speak up loudly. Got a $500,000 cause of your incompetency. Calling me a nerd with creativity. Your shit was boring just like your delivery. Your monotone ass can't demand more cash. Only idiot to use a hung jury as a brag. A lowly ADA, so you must be a hack. You don't wanna see me get spanky on the track. You ain't good enough to have a private practice. You ain't smart enough to hide your malpractice. I was the star, you were like a fading actress. Hope Welcher spread his load all over your mattress. I know a lot of times that raps be fiction, but really let these next 2 bars sink in. You ain't skilled enough to get a conviction, even when in a corrupt jurisdiction. As for the aftermath, well, I'm making more cash. As for you, I think I saw you on DoorDash. Man, I kinda feel bad, sitting back with a laugh, counting up on my stacks. But let me end this quite plainly, just in case that your memory's hazy. It was confirmed on the stand that you're lazy when Rosemary made you her baby. All they want about stank. All they want about spank. All they want about stank. All they want about.
Okay, we're just doing one song because it's late. Hank has seen that. And Hank has seen my diaries. Just yeah.
Hank saw
I have
your
a friend-
diaries.
my Hank's diaries. I have a friend who knows him, and I don't know how I feel about it, but I think that's a good thing. Yeah. Okay. Okay, we're going to watch Dr. La Posada. You saw her once. We talked about her once, right? I can't remember when though.
Yeah. Yes.
When was
Like
that?
a couple weeks ago.
Also, Kevin Reddington is now obsessed with all of Fervent's songs because of the same friend. Okay, when did I tell you about La Posada though? I don't remember.
The X-rays. Doesn't matter.
Yes. Okay. So something you
makes
need to
sense.
know about Dr. La Posada is she is like, you know, when you see a person who's like doing exactly what they were like meant to do, like they're just like in their element, like, oh, you were like, other people could work their entire lives and never be as good as you at this because like you are like at a level so far above everybody else. Like you are, it's not even like an expert. It's like you are like, I don't even know how to like explain it. You are, she was
Like
put on this
Einstein,
earth to
right?
do this job. Yes.
Yeah.
She spends an hour. It is a full hour of her direct examination, just going over her resume and experience. And Hank knows her. Hank has used her as an expert in his trials before. Hank doesn't want to. So the way that Hank was like being a bully to the ARCA guys and everything, he couldn't do that to Dr. La Posada. So he gets up with her and is kind of like, all of a sudden he can't figure out the right approach with her because anything he says, she's like, well, no, well, this, well, that. And he's like, okay. So
Well, kind of according to like his own language, he kind of has a conflict with her.
He is what?
I'm thinking like in his language, it's like, like, why are you bringing an expert on here? So it's called a defense, sir. You know what
Right.
a defense is.
But like everybody else that he cross-examines, he kind of tries to like break them down. And with her, he like couldn't, he was like teetering. Yeah, but with Dr. La
Take away
Posada,
their
I think
expertise by making them a ham sandwich.
exactly. But he also knew that he couldn't like totally crap on her because he probably wants to use her as an expert in the future. And he had some amount of respect for her. So he was doing this very weird tightrope walk of like trying to question her, but also just like get it done. And it ends up just being, you'll see in a second. Also, something that you need to know about her is, actually, never mind. We're just going to start. Okay. Remove, add to stage. Here we go. So this is their very first moment. So Alan Jackson just finished her direct.
Mm-hmm.
And this is how they start.
Good afternoon, Dr. Laposada.
6 minutes till the afternoon. Good afternoon.
That's okay.
Okay. That's how they start. She's like, I'm the boss. You're wrong. You're wrong about everything. You're dumb. Now, one of
she knows how to
Hank's-
get to him.
Exactly.
He
One
should
of
have just
Hank's-
said it's all semantics.
but he's also terrified of her and doesn't want to. He, like I said, like he couldn't figure out how to, like, not crap on her, but also crap on her at the same time. One of his experts that he brought in from Miami, is he was a neurologist or a brain surgeon or something. And he, I think, gave Hank some information about the brain that he is now proud of. And he wants to share it with Dr. Laposada.
Mentioned that the orbital bones were broken and you had opined that it was caused by the brain. Do you agree that a brain is very soft, consistent with, for example, tofu?
Oh, gross. What do you mean?
Okay, we need to watch that one more time because this is my favorite moment pretty much ever. Nope.
I choked a little bit.
Or not. Why? Also, something that you need to know about her saying ew, gross to this is that she opens her direct by talking about a plane crash investigation that she did where she basically like vacuumed up body parts from the bottom of the ocean and put them back together. And that didn't gross her out. But Hank still found a way to gross this woman out.
What?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That happened. Like, this is a woman that sees 3 to 5 dead bodies a day. Nothing could gross her out, and still Hank found a way.
You mentioned that the orbital bones were broken and you had opined that it was caused by the brain. Do you agree that a brain is very soft, consistent with, for example, tofu?
Oh, gross. What do you mean?
Oh, that look on her.
Is it that soft?
You got that.
Well, it depends on what kind of tofu you.
Okay. Do you think that the orbital could have broken?
Okay, so there was that.
He's not eating Chinese for lunch. So you guys can get pad thai tofu. Tofu in my pad thai, but not now.
Oh my gosh. The brain is very soft, consistent with tofu. Okay. And then she just really.
Maybe I don't know what tofu is. Like, is tofu everything? It's just made out of soy? I mean, I know there's the blocks of tofu, but like.
That's what I was picturing. The one that's like floating in that. I think tofu is disgusting. I tried for like a year to like tofu, and.
Well, nobody likes tofu. It's a.
No, it's disgusting. Like, I could get behind like a good like fried tofu with broccoli from like a restaurant, like the one that has like a shell, like a fried like crispy shell. You know what I mean?
I like fried cheese.
Yeah, of course. That's not
what it sounds
gross.
like. Yeah, no tofu. The only tofu I've ever had was by accident, and it wasn't pad thai. Chicken pad thai has some tofu in it. It's not bad because it tastes like pad thai.
Well,
But
that's fine. I wouldn't eat it by itself. But now it's
No,
basically
it's
you're eating brain. So sorry, people.
head cheese.
Then Dr. La Posada starts just eventually she gets really fed up with Hank and just starts putting him in his place.
Broken plastic or glass can cause a number of different angled wounds, can it?
It causes an array of irregular, random injuries.
It can have infinite different patterns, couldn't it?
Could.
There's nothing to hold a wound from a broken shard to be north or south or east and west. It all depends on how the force was impacted on the body, true?
I'm not quite clear on your question.
I'll try to do better. When you're talking about broken glass or broken plastic, there's no set direction that they may cut somebody, is there?
Well, it would depend on the case and how those occurred.
It can happen in many different forms as far as depth, yes?
Well, anything's possible.
How about length?
What about length?
Wouldn't that change? Couldn't that change depending on how the injury occurred, the length of the wound?
Sure.
And in this case, you talked about your opinions of injury relative to a motor vehicle, didn't you?
That was something I considered.
It's something you considered. Did you know much about the details of the motor vehicle in this case?
Yes.
Okay. When you considered your differential diagnosis, did you consider whether there was any DNA on the vehicle?
I didn't look at any of that.
I'm sorry?
I did not look at any DNA.
Do you know if there was any hair on the vehicle?
I don't know.
Did you consider the scene itself where there may have been a debris field? Did you take a look at the debris field in this case?
I know there were photographs of various pieces of plastic around the area where the body was found.
And do you remember where those pieces were found?
Somewhat, yes.
Did you have an opportunity to consider other evidence like a shoe in the area near where Mr. O'Keefe was found?
I know one shoe was on his foot at the hospital, the other was at the scene.
Do you know if his hat stayed with him after he landed on the ground?
The hat was in the area where his body was found.
Did you take a look at his pants, the back of his pants?
I looked at that, yes.
Okay, what did you see when you saw the back of his pants?
Well, because he had bled from the back of his injury and he was on a hospital gurney, some of that blood came down, so some of the blood was on the back of his pants.
Did you see anything else other than blood on the back of his pants?
I don't remember.
I'm sorry?
I don't remember if I saw anything else.
Did you look, when you were doing your differential diagnosis, did you look at any evidence other than physical evidence? Did you look at any data evidence?
I don't know what you mean, data.
Like data you'd find on a cell phone?
No.
Did you look at any of the data evidence from the defendant's Lexus?
No, other than looking at the contours of the back to see if it had impacted Mr. O'Keefe.
When you were doing differential diagnosis, did you look at any information that would tell you what the speed of that impact may have been or allegedly was?
Well, it didn't hit him, so it doesn't matter.
Okay. So you didn't care to know anything about the car, the data in the car, because you had already formed your opinion?
It did not hit him, so it was not relevant to my opinion. By looking at the body, I could tell that there was no evidence of impact with the vehicle. So whether the vehicle was going slow or fast is not relevant.
And so you didn't try to get any information about the speed of the vehicle? It was totally irrelevant to you?
Correct.
And did you also disregard, well, let me ask you, do you ever look at statements?
I look at witness statements if they're available to me.
Were any of the defendants' statements made available to you?
I did hear some of them.
Did you consider the ones that you heard?
Of course.
Which ones did you hear?
I really can't answer that. I don't know what you'd have to give me an example.
You have to give me an example.
When Mr. O'Keefe incurred his injury, you think that he was unconscious?
Yes, I think that the severity of the impact made him immediately unconscious.
So if hypothetically Mr. O'Keefe incurred his injury sometime around 12:32, is it your opinion that he never moved again until he was moved physically by somebody else?
Well, I don't know the exact time that he got the injury on the back of the head, but after that time, he could not carry out any purposeful activity.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yes. That is like the crux of this case, is that line right there.
The impact on the back of the head.
It was like killed him almost instantly. So he had vomit on his clothes, so he was like involuntarily probably like seizing, vomiting, bleeding, but he had, after the impact, there was no meaningful activity after that. So there was no, according to even the Commonwealth's final timeline that they finally decided on, he still had, he locked his phone afterwards. He read a text message, like none of that. He wasn't stumbling around. He wasn't, it was like KO bang bang, as Colin Albert would say. It was immediately incapacitating. I actually don't think that he suffered. I think that this happened so quickly that it was like lights out. I think it happened so fast that there was not really suffering.
You said you watched somebody showing fights and like how like they have stuff. You ever see the people do the knockout game? You ever see those videos?
No, I'm picturing something maybe different. I'm picturing like 7th graders who used to like do like where you
choke themselves.
Yeah.
No, that's knockout. So like it's just a sucker punch, and I did not realize how quickly you go down. I mean, it is when you start seeing. What was the first videos I ever saw of it? It made me nauseous. It was like, oh gosh, like that's violent. Like you black out and you're like a tree falling. Nothing stops it. I mean,
and what's crazy about whatever did happen to John is it wasn't from the punch. I think that's what she was getting at, is like the punch is what knocked him over, but what he hit the back of his head on is what caused the injury. So whoever punched him, not a car, whoever punched him was not doing it with the intention of even like knocking, like it wasn't the kind of punch that would immediately incapacitate him. It was like, I don't know, probably like a whatever regular punch looks like. Like the intention wasn't for this to happen. It was just like a very kind of like perfect storm of like the worst case scenario. And he landed backwards on a raised ledge with a granular surface.
oh, it's just sickening.
Right, exactly. And it's just not, I mean, we're so far past this, but it's just not something that could happen from getting hit by a car. Like none of what she's describing happens when you get hit by a car.
You know what's amazing about cars? I mean, like accidents and all that is that when you always hear about like the drunk driver that crossed the lane and killed family or something like that in a car wreck, and they walked away. Like,
Yeah.
it's like, why do they walk away? And
Because they're not
what
like
happens is
bracing
you don't get,
themselves.
yeah, you don't get tense. Um,
Hmm.
I don't know. It's just, I don't know. I don't know what I don't know where I'm going with my thought. Tell you the truth, I'm just. It's like I mean, I hate to say it, but hobos get hit a lot, and because they're on stuff and they get they walk out, they stumble out in front of cars, and this is this is one of those things that you talk to cops enough, and they'll be like, they can take hobos. They'll talk about them in like a third person, like they're not people, because they see them survive things that you and I would never be able to survive, and
Right.
it's amazing, and it's it's the superpower of uh, narcotics or alcohol or whatever it is. But I don't want to say that. It's like I still don't feel like that's right. It's like if he couldn't brace himself, then that would explain hit in the head. But then
I mean,
if he
he
was hit by a car,
fell.
if he was hit by a car though,
He didn't
but
get
I
hit
don't,
by a car. He
or if he
fell.
stumbled.
Well, right. Somebody punched him and he fell. I mean, it's like, and so I'm gonna
But he doesn't
assign.
have any face abrasions from a punch though, right?
No, he has a cut here. He has a bruise and a cut from like a 1-2 punch.
Hmm.
I'm gonna assign for you Sam Benigno. We're just gonna jump way ahead because Sam is like at another level of this of like her analysis than we've gotten to, but I'm gonna assign that for your homework because we're just gonna start at the end. Because she like really kind of explains it all. I'm gonna assign it for the whole chat if you guys haven't seen it. Because that was our last clip for tonight, because the next part that I have gets into like stuff that we don't need to do tonight. And I think, yeah.
Oh, no,
It's
that's
like
another one.
not, I think something that like we've all done for like anybody. I just saw a question about the garage and stuff. I think everybody just overcomplicated all of this because we spent so long trying to like prove that John didn't get hit by a car. Okay, so something that I was recently thinking about, I was following that Ashley Banfield is covering the Lynette Hooker disappearance in the Bahamas, and like where her husband killed her. And
Who? Where? Who? What happened in Bahamas?
there's like a couple in their like later years, they sold their house. They have been living on a boat for 2 years. This woman's missing. Anyways, the husband told this whole convoluted story about how she just bounced off the back of the dinghy and this and that. And the investigators spent so long, the first like 3 days, kind of.
Christopher Walken was on the boat too, right?
I don't know that reference. But they spent so long like following his lies for the first couple days that they kind of like missed the opportunity. And it just made me think, if like police detectives showed up at a scene and took statements and like put them to the side, and then they were like, let's follow our own, like, let's do our own investigation and follow our own evidence. There is no way that anybody would have like looked at John and without getting brainwashed by anybody else's stories, that they would have thought that he got hit by a car. And then they would have followed the evidence like where it really should have led them to. And none of this really would have been that complicated. And I say that only to say, like, I think that we've all kind of tried to overcomplicate things by being like, maybe he was like over here, or over there, or over this, or over that. And it's like, or maybe he just like went into the house like how he planned to. And then like right there inside the house, in the room that he was walking into, where the dog was and the people were, he got into a fight and like lost his life. And that's what happened. And it's like not any more complicated than that.
So like we got the same outcome and everybody would feel better about it. I mean, so I say, right. I would feel better about it if I believed in the police. If I believed in the investigation. And right now I don't believe in the investigation. I don't think I have a problem with the lawyers. I don't think I have a problem with I mean, I think there's a lot of like, you know, you said that it's easy to play Monday morning quarterback, you know, but the investigation part, and especially like tonight with what's that guy's name, Purgatory, or whatever. What's his name? Who we just see? The bear
his name
guy?
is Purgatory.
Honey Bear?
His name is Purgatory. Just call him Purgatory. He's
Okay,
living in his
Purgatory.
own He's living in his own homemade purgatory, so that is perfect.
Proctor, yeah. Purgatory. Sorry. I got the P right. That's pretty good. So Purgatory over there, like, you know, he admits tonight. He's like, you know, he was talking to his buddies. He's like, nah, this is what happened. And he's so nonchalant about it. It's just, it's like, you know what it is? It's like you walk up to a car wreck and you look around and say, okay, what happened? And someone says, well, this is what happened. And he goes, okay. And he just writes it down and he goes, next. You know, he gets to go out drinking with his buddies. It's all over with. And he shows like, oh, look how many things I worked on this year. I solved all these mysteries. Happy birthday, Alan P.
I'm very tired.
Birthday to you.
Mitchell says it's bedtime.
What is it really? Mitchell comes in as a
No, it's bedtime.
Good night.
We have so much more to do, but I feel like we made like really good headway tonight. Like we covered a lot.
Yeah, like you know, it's funny, but I give Mitchell a hard time, but I didn't realize what time it was. Like I have no concept.
I'm really tired.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is that why you don't know who Natalie Wood is?
I don't know who anybody is. I feel like I could like see my own mom in public sometimes and like not recognize her. Like my brain is like not. Maybe I need to like free up some space with this trial.
I'm gonna assign you homework. Yes. Actually, you know what, Chat? Don't you bet she would love to know about Natalie Wood and Robert Wagner? Do you know who Robert Wagner is? Is it Robert Wagner? Yeah.
I don't know who that is. I'll do research. I'll look them up. Natalie Wood. Oh my gosh, I do know who that is.
Who is she?
Wait, she drowned? Yeah, I do know who that is. He pushed her off the boat. He pushed her off the boat. And she was always scared of water her whole life. And she never wanted to go near water. And then he like made her go on a boat. And then she drowned.
With
whoever the guy was.
Christopher Walken.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, Christopher Walken. You know, come on, Christopher Walken. Like,
I'm very interested in this, Chad. I finally confirmed that today. How did we confirm that? Because I would love that. I've been saying that for a long time, but I have no like reason for it. So,
but why did he have his phone to begin with? I thought it was underneath him.
No, it was never underneath him. Carrie never picked it up. Carrie also said there was grass underneath him. That's a whole other. We can do that. I gotta go to bed. But are you proud I knew who Natalie Wood was?
Wait a second. I just thought we had all this figured out.
No, we don't have. We have nothing figured out.
Go to bed.
Can you email me?
Go to bed. I'm gonna wake up tomorrow and I'm gonna go to an office and put on a tie. I'm gonna put on a suit. I'm gonna go to an office somewhere because all this is fantasy. Can't wait till I wake up.
I appreciate the cliffhanger, Chad. Thank you. Okay. Good night, everybody. You're all wonderful. Thank you for being here.
Thank you guys.
Have a good night. I can't wait for next week.
Miss Emily.
Bye.
If you need a place to breathe, some stress to just relieve, then come watch Emily see, where we keep it drama free. We want justice for John O'Keefe, Aiden and Kelsey, waved bye bye to Morrissey. Let's clean up Norfolk County. Emily C, the one we need, reading sidebars with Corey, writing heck diaries, giving the people what they need. It's my pleasure to entertain, keeping you laughing makes my day. Positivity all the way. Why do we tell Satan not today? And now it's time to say goodbye. But before we say goodnight, just keep one thing in mind. Please like, comment, subscribe.